Fun, fun, fun. Having fun. We're having fun. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I heard that there was gonna be some debates today. What's up, peeping ukulele? How you doing? I wanted to be a mathematician today. I'm pretty excited. My favorite presidential candidate, Andrew Yang, has got big money. What's up, Krista? How you doing? He's got $1,000 a month on the line, so I want to see him win, so that we can all get $1,000 a month. And I'm hoping, Yang Gang. Lame? Do you think it's lame, Joe Black? I think it's gang gang. I don't know, man. I probably don't need to tell you guys this. I blow it on magic cards too. Guess who's got magic cards on deck just waiting? Young Bill Fridge. Got that cardboard crack. You want some of that? Notice me, senpai. So, basically, we got some debates going. I don't know. I'm gonna try and watch the Yang Gang stuff. I heard some people were getting busted for watching the debates, so we have to try and hide the fact that we're watching them. This is Buttigieg. I like him a lot. He's a pretty
low and middle income students for whom cost could be a barrier.
Did you pay the cost, Buttigieg? He's next to Andrew Yang.
Working class families to subsidize even the children of billionaires. I think the children of the wealthiest Americans can pay at least a little bit of tuition. And while I want tuition costs to go down,
man, there's not that many wealthy children out there, dude. Just let them have some free tuition too. If the poor get it, let everybody get it.
Affordable in this country to not go to college. You should be able to live well, afford rent, be generous to your church and Little League.
Be generous to your church and Little League. I never had a Little League or a church, so I feel like I should have more money laying around because I never had to be generous to that. You just paid off your student. You should have waited, Curtis. You messed up, dude. Who's this guy? Eric Swallowwell? Swallowwell? I don't know him at all. Where's Joe? Joe's working. Is $5 okay? It's $20, dude. $20 is okay. Look at these presidents all lined up. Oh, Yang's talking. Let's.
That's right. I think that's like $3.2 trillion a year. How would you do that?
Sorry?
How would you do that?
Oh, so it's difficult to do if you have companies like Amazon, trillion-dollar tech companies paying literally zero in taxes while they're closing 30% of our stores. Now, we need to put the American people in position to benefit from all these innovations in other parts of the economy. And if we had a value-added tax at even half the European level, it would generate over $800 billion in new revenue, which combined with the money in our hands, it would be the trickle-up economy from our people, families, and communities up. We would spend the money and it would circulate through our regional economies and neighborhoods, creating millions of jobs, making our families stronger and healthier. We'd save money on things like incarceration, homelessness services, emergency room health care, and just the value gains from having a stronger, healthier, mentally healthier population would increase GDP by $700 billion. This is the move that we have to make, particularly as technology is now automating away millions of American jobs. It's why Donald Trump is our president today, that we automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And we're about to do the same thing to millions of retail jobs, call center jobs, fast food jobs, truck driving jobs, and on through the economy.
Mr. If I get you understand a little bit better, so you're saying $1,000 a month for everyone over 18, but a value-added tax, so you can spend that $1,000 on value-added tax?
Well, the value-added tax would end up, you'd still be increasing the buying power of the bottom 94% of Americans. You have to spend a lot of money for a mild value-added tax to eat up $12,000 a year per individual. So for the average family with 2 or 3 adults, it'd be $24,000 to $36,000 a year.
Okay, Congressman Swalwell, I want to talk a little bit about what Mr. Yang is talking about, and you just actually mentioned it. Many Americans are worried that things like self-driving cars, robots.
Fucking robots, dude. That's the problem. Nobody's fighting the robots. Andrew Yang Gang is coming around just to fight the robots, and that's why we gotta support him. You know what robots aren't good at? Being hungry. Robots aren't good at being poor. Robots aren't good at making love. But when there's robots everywhere, that's all humans will have left to do is be hungry and poor and make love. So we need Andrew Yang Gang to give us enough money to feed our bellies so that we can have girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever you want. Because the robots will take us for everything we got. Literally everything. Why do they keep putting this guy on? I've never seen him before, and he gets to talk.
He's still right today. If we're going to solve the issues of...
Robots are good at banging, not making love, okay?
Pass the torch. If we're going to solve the issue of student loan debt, pass the torch. If we're going to end gun violence for families who are fearful of sending their kids...
$1,000 isn't enough, Bill Hicks, but it's a start. Everybody's like, $1,000 isn't that much money. It is to somebody who doesn't have $1,000. And it's not that much to somebody who does have hella money, but they still could use that money. I remind you of Jason Mewes. That's cute. Doing some of that Mewes math. Let's see what fucking Biden's saying.
Universal pre-K. That's why I think every single person who graduates from high school, 65 out of 100 now, need something beyond high school. And we should provide for them to be able to get that education. That's why there should be free community college, cutting in half the cost of college. That's why we should be in a position where we do not have...
2,000 is a start, right? But no, 1,000 is a start. If everybody has $1,000 more a month, that'll give them the bare necessities they need to make another $1,000, right? We're starting off with 1,000 because the money's there, the math's there, and when everybody has that little buffer, like imagine how you live today. If you had an extra $1,000, would it change your life? For a lot of people, it would. It's not gonna put you on the government dole, ready to sit back and suck down fucking Hot Pockets all day. But it will give you the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. I do still talk to Leafy. If you guys want to talk to Leafy, all you got to do is give me $1,000 a month. I don't know how that'll work, but we'll figure it out. Oh, here comes Bernie talking. Young Bern Dad. Who the fuck? Why does this guy keep talking?
We will let all of you speak. Senator Harris. Senator Harris. Please, we will let you all speak. Senator Harris.
We can't afford to wait for evolution on these issues.
Hey, guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
Oh, Kamala hitting him. Kamala off the top rope. America don't want a food fight. They want to put food on the table. Ooh.
Part of the issue that is at play in America today, and we've all been traveling around the country, I certainly have, I'm meeting people who are working 2 and 3 jobs. You know, this president walks around talking about and flouting his great economy, right? My great economy, my great economy. You ask him, well, how are you measuring this greatness of this economy of yours? And he talks about the stock market. Well, that's fine if you own stocks. So many families in America do not. You ask them, how are you measuring the greatness of this economy of yours? And they point to the jobless numbers and the unemployment numbers. Well, yeah, people in America are working. They're working 2 and 3 jobs. So when we talk about jobs, let's be really clear. In our America, no one should have to work more than 1 job to have a roof over their head and food on the table.
Thank you very much, Senator.
Honestly, they shouldn't. The fact that people have to work 2 or 3 jobs is a broken job economy. It's a broken market. And the fact that they're not going to be able to work 2 or 3 jobs because robots are going to have 4 or 5 jobs means we need UBI. You have to sell all your stocks to pay bills. Man, ain't that the truth, dude? Ain't that the freaking truth? Look at these. Look at these people. Did Bernie just raise his hand like he was in class?
So this is a very important issue. So the plan that Senator Sanders and I and others support, Medicare for All, is how you get to single payer. But it has a buy-in transition period, which is really important. In 2005, when I ran for Congress in a 2-to-1 Republican district, I actually ran on Medicare for All, and I won that 2-to-1 Republican district twice. And the way I formulated it was simple. Anyone who doesn't have access to insurance they like, they could buy in at a percentage of income they could afford. So that's what we put into the transition period for our Medicare for All plan. I believe we need to get to universal health care as a right and not a privilege to single payer. The quickest way you get there is you create competition with the insurers. God bless the insurers if they want to compete. They can certainly try. But they've never put people over their profits, and I doubt they ever will. So what will happen is people will choose Medicare, you will transition, we will get to Medicare for All, and then your step to single payer is so short. I would make it an earned benefit, just like Social Security, so that you buy in your whole life, it is always there for you, and it's permanent and it's universal.
Senator, your time's up. I want to put that same question to Mayor Buttigieg.
Yeah, look, everybody who says Medicare for All, every person in politics who allows that phrase to escape their lips has a responsibility to explain how you're actually supposed to get from here to there. Now, here's how I would do it. It's very similar.
How would you do it,
Medicare for all who want it. You take something like Medicare, a flavor of that, you make it available on the exchanges, people can buy in, and then if people like us are right, that will be not only a more inclusive plan, but a more efficient plan than any of the corporate answers out there, then it will be a very natural glide path to the single-payer environment. But let's remember, even in countries that have outright socialized medicine, like England, even there's still a private sector. That's fine. It's just that for our primary care, we can't be relying on the tender mercies of the corporate system. This one's very personal for me. I started out this year dealing with the terminal illness of my father. I make decisions for a living. And nothing could have prepared me for the kind of decisions our family faced. But the thing we had going for us was that we never had to make those decisions based on whether it was going to bankrupt our family because of Medicare. And I want every family to have that same freedom to do what is medically right, not live in financial fear.
Your time is complete, though.
I know how many people, like, in my life that do not get health checked out because they don't have the money. They're afraid it's going to cost them money. I myself am not going to be able to fix my big, fat, flabby body because Medicare says that I have to have fucking bingo wings all the time. Hey, thank you, Krista. Big hearts, Krista. Too short to be president, though. Isn't that the problem, Joe? We just need tall presidents. There is free healthcare, and you can. Everybody should be able to get taken care of at the fucking doctor. It's just, it's something so simple. It shouldn't cost you your entire fucking life savings to save your life.
No insurance. They, in fact, could buy in the exchange to a Medicare-like plan. And the way to do that, we can do it quickly. Look, urgency matters. There's people right now facing what I faced and what we faced without any of the help I had. We must move now. I'm against any Democrat who opposes, that takes down Obamacare, and any Republican who wants to get rid of Obamacare.
Let me turn to Senator Sanders. Senator Sanders, you have basically want to scrap the private health insurance system as we know it and replace it with a government-run plan. None of the states that have tried something like that, California, Vermont, New York, has struggled with it, have been successful. If politicians can't make it work in those states, how would you implement it on a national level? How does this work?
Listen, I find it hard to believe that every other major country on earth, including my neighbor 50 miles north of me, Canada, somehow has figured out a way to provide health care to every man, woman, and child. And in most cases, they're spending 50% per capita what we are spending. Let's be clear. Let us be very clear. The function of health care today, from the insurance and drug company perspective, is not to provide quality care to all in a cost-effective way. The function of the healthcare system today is to make billions in profits for the insurance companies. And last year, if you could believe it, while we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. And I will lower prescription drug prices in half in this country. Top 10 companies make $69 billion in profit. They will spend hundreds of millions of dollars lying to the American people, telling us why we cannot have a Medicare for all single-payer program.
I just have to follow up there. How do you implement it on a national level? How do you implement it on a national level, given the fact it's not succeeded in other states that have tried?
I will tell you how we'll do it. We'll do it the way real change has always taken place, whether it was the labor movement, the civil rights movement, or the women's movement. We will have Medicare for all, when tens of millions of people are prepared to stand up and tell the insurance companies and the drug companies that their day is gone, that health care is a human right, not something to make huge profits off.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Williamson.
That's really what it all comes down to, is the huge profits. It's blood money. All these pharmaceutical companies are making ridiculous money. There's a reason that sick people go to Mexico to get prescription drugs. Motherfucking Mexico comes to America to get money. America goes to Mexico to get their damn drugs. Isn't that sick? Isn't that disgusting? So many Wall Street. What's up, Faith Ann? Good to see you. So many Wall Street people left Wall Street to get into pharmaceuticals. Martin Shkreli was one of them. That dude left fucking big money on Wall Street because he saw bigger money in medicine. And it's all blood money taking advantage of people who have no other choice. And the way Medicare is set up, the way that the health system is set up, it's a gold mine. Yeah, Bernie's good. He's fucking good. He's always going to tell it like it is, as long as he's not being stilted by the people talking to him. Bernie, how are you going to do it? I'll tell you how we're going to do it. 10,000 people are going to stand up and kick some ass. 10 million people. And then 10 billion people.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Bennett, a question for you. You want to keep the system that we have in place with Obamacare and Bill Nye. You mentioned that a moment ago. Is that enough to get us to universal coverage?
I believe that will get us the quickest way there. And I thought the Vice President was very moving about this, and Mayor Pete as well. I had prostate cancer recently, as you may know, and that's why I was a little late getting in the race the same week.
He's really talking about his prostate cancer. It's anecdotal, but pain.
Able to have this choice. I think that's what the American people want. I believe it will get us there quickly. There are millions of people in America that do not have health insurance today because they can't. They're too wealthy. They make too much money to be on Medicaid. They can't afford health insurance. When Senator Sanders says that Canada is single payer, there are 35 million people in Canada. There are 330 million people in the United States, easily the number of people on a public option. It could easily be 35 million. And for them, it would be Medicare for all, as Mayor Buttigieg says. But for others that want to keep it, they should be able to keep it. And I think that will be the fastest way to get where we need to go. Also, I will say, Bernie is a very honest person. He has said over and over again, unlike others that have supported this legislation, over and over again, that this will make illegal all insurance except cosmetic, except insurance for, I guess that's for plastic surgery. Everything else is banned under the Medicare for All proposal that he has put
I'd let you go a little longer there, but obviously, Senator Sanders, you get a response. Senator Sanders, he's a response.
Just very briefly.
All right.
Mike, Medicare is the most popular health insurance program in the country. People don't like their private insurance companies. They like their doctors and hospitals. Under our plan, people go to any doctor they want, any hospital they want. We will substantially lower the cost of health care in this country because we'll stop the greed of the insurance companies.
Talking about stopping the greed. That's not going to go over well with the greedy. That's why I like Yang, because he's like coming from the greedy standpoint. He's talking capitalist language. Not that I like capitalism, but I feel like he's speaking their fucking language. Bernie's like, we're going to come to your doorstep. And I like that. I want that. But I don't feel like that's going to work. We constantly get squeezed for every dime and penny because that's how capitalism works. When are they really going to start giving us? They'll give us Medicare for all when it no longer is a moneymaker for them. I don't know. That's maybe it's me being like defeated in the mind. I've seen so many fucking candidates try and do something, and it never, ever, 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 ever gets much further. It's always a pendulum back and forth. I feel like we have to attack it from a capitalist mindset. But if Bernie gets the fucking nod, I'm 100% behind Bernie, dude.
These government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can
Hold
see.
them up. I think Yang probably is a Chinese spy, right?
Immigrants.
I lost you a Yang Tang? I lost you a Yang Tang? Pepita chips. I did not lose you a Yang Tang.
When everybody is healthier. And remember, we're talking about something people are given a chance to buy into. In the same way that there are undocumented immigrants in my community who pay. They pay sales taxes. They pay property taxes directly or indirectly. This is not about a handout. This is an insurance program. And we do ourselves no favors by having 11 million undocumented people in our country be unable to access health care. But of course, the real problem is we shouldn't have 11 million undocumented people with no pathway to citizenship. It makes no sense. And the American people agree on what to do. This is the crazy thing.
Start a hack fund.
Leadership consists of forming a consensus around a divisive issue. This White House has divided us around a consensus issue. The American people want to.
Is universal health care so damn expensive, though, Jay Simmies? Like, you're saying switching to universal health care is so damn expensive because the current healthcare system right now is built to be expensive. It's built for people to profit off of. This is a for-profit system. If we retool that system and we cut some of the fat, some of the ridiculous spending, like, do you know how many green lights there are in Medicare that just open up all types of fucking predatory fucking medical procedures and spending? It's nuts how much money is pretty much wasted. We just gotta tighten up the way everything works, dude. I really think that there's more than enough money for everybody to be healthy. We have to do the math and figure out the numbers and make it work.
Job, they're paying a Social Security tax. That's what they're doing. It's increased the lifespan. They would do the same thing in terms of reducing the overall cost of health care by them being able to be treated and not wait till they're in extremis. The other thing is, folks, look, we can deal with these insurance companies. We can deal with the insurance companies by, number one, putting insurance executives in jail for their misleading.
Exactly, the ranting hick. The insurance companies have pay themselves the money as the middleman. They set the cost. It's ridiculous how hospitals have different prices on things based on whether the insurance is paying for it or you're paying out of pocket, right? Like they have it set. It's a rigged system. $750 for a saline drip bag and nobody questions it. It's salt water. We're paying $750 for salt water, right? Bow. Bow. Going to fucking break, dude. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden as a president, but I do think that him versus Trump in debates would be fucking hilarious because they're both like, don't bite their tongue. They're old man crazy. I'm saying Yang Gang for multiple reasons. One, it's funny. This dude's talking about doing math to give everybody $1,000 a month. It's a good joke. It's a good story. But we really do need to look into universal basic income because we're getting less and less jobs. Like the $15 an hour minimum wage is only making companies take on more automated roles and jobs. And that's going to happen regardless, but they're rushing towards it now. We're going to see these jobs disappear and people need to eat. Bernie's a lifelong politician. I knew they were going to screw him in fucking 2016. You saw the stadiums filled up with people and I never got excited for him because in my mind, I thought 100% Hillary was going to the White House. I thought that, and then as you saw, the super delegates were picking her over Bernie in areas where Bernie had a decisive following. It was ridiculous. But then Trump won and I was like, wow, did not see that coming. Rent's going to go up regardless. I will Doken for food. $1,000 a month really does matter because it's not like you're getting $1,000 a month and that's all the money you're ever going to get, right? It's giving you a buffer, right? If you're a mother and you're in a bad relationship because you don't really have a job, you're a stay-at-home mom and your baby's dad is a piece of trash and you're stuck to him because you have no options. You can't really go get a job because you got to watch that baby. $1,000 a month will get you out of the fucking place. It won't get you in the best scenario, but it gives you a fucking start, right? It gives you a start if you're looking for work. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. They just don't got any sort of savings. They don't. It's not easy. And this is not all the money you're ever going to make. It's just fucking $1,000 a month to help you make more money. Do you know how many people are entrepreneurs that buy like 15 cents worth of cocaine, cook it up with some baking soda, and then sell that for $1 worth of crack? Imagine what somebody could do with $1,000. If they can make $1 out of 15 cents, imagine what they can do with $1,000. We're back live. Here's Kamala Harris dropping some game.
Parents, and I have to just say that we have to think about this issue in terms of real people. A mother who pays a coyote to transport her child through their country of origin, through the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril to come here. Why would that mother do that? I will tell you. Because she has decided for that child to remain where they are is worse. But what does Donald Trump do? He says, go back to where you came from. That is not reflective of our America and our values, and it's got to end.
Hey, Greg, thank you. Demonic change gang.
Governor Hickenlooper, day one, if you are day one at the White House, how do you respond?
With these children?
Let me get to you in just a second.
I'm sorry.
Governor, day one, thousands of men, women, and children cross the border.
Country is in debt up to its eyeballs, and Billy thinks government handouts are the solution. Fuck my life. Here's the deal, right? We spend money on so much shit. So much shit. There's a reason we're in debt. If we start giving a stimulus, which has been done historically by conservatives, if we start giving a stimulus in the form of a universal basic income, we're going to see the money get back into the system. It's not going to be put away in some hangar full of military grade jets and fucking missiles and and all this shit that just sits there waiting to go to war, right? It's going to be back in the hands of people who need it and spend it, and it's going to create a boost in our economy. It's going to create a boost in our spending power. It's going to create a boost in a lot of things. If you think that this is a bad idea, I think it's an idea worth looking into. I don't think that we are in a situation right now where we should be worrying about our debt. We are adding down to that debt no matter what. No matter what, we're fucking adding to that debt with shit that doesn't go back to people. So you can't tell me that the debt is a problem, because it's going to continue to grow no matter what. The disparity among humans, being hungry, not having just a safety net, right? A little bit of money. That's going to go a long way, I think. It's not about adding to the debt in my eyes. The debt's going to fucking grow regardless. Give everybody $1 million a day. Thank you, Legacy. That's way better. The solution isn't to create more debt and hope. The solution is to give people access to money so they can then lift themselves out of a hole. You want me to open your Pokemon Go? What's your Pokemon Go name, Spider-Man? Spider-Man. See what she's got to say.
Reform with a pathway to citizenship. Second, I would reform how we treat asylum seekers at the border. I would have a community-based treatment center where you're doing it within the communities, where asylum seekers are given lawyers, where there's real immigration judges, not employees of the Attorney General, but appointed for life, and have a community-based system. I would fund border security, but the worst thing President Trump has done is he's diverted the funds away from cross-border terrorism, cross-border human trafficking, drug trafficking, and gun trafficking, and he's given that money to the for-profit prisons. I would not be spending money in for-profit prisons to lock up children and asylum seekers.
We had a very spirited debate on this stage last night on the topic of decriminalization of the border.
Look at how prices of things have increased as wages went up. Yeah, but look at how prices of things have increased over the last 30, 40 years, and wages have not been going up with inflation. They are not raising the way they should be. I love that these guys are raising their hands. They're so gentlemanly.
For family separation. You do away with that, it's no longer possible. Of course, it wouldn't be possible anyway in my presidency because it is dead wrong. We got to talk about one other thing, because
a handout of $1,000 will just devalue what $1,000 means. Yeah, it'll go down to about $750 after inflation and spending credits, right? $700 maybe. So $1,000 will become $700. But do you know what $700 is to somebody who has nothing? It's $700.
To say that it is okay, to suggest that God would smile on the division of families at the hands of federal agents, that God would condone putting children in cages, has lost all claim to ever use religious language again.
Vice President, Mr. Vice President, I don't know if you raised your hand or were just asking to speak. Look, would you decriminalize crossing the border without documents?
The first thing I would do is unite families. I'd surge immediately billions of dollars worth of help to the region immediately. Look, I talk about foreign policy. I'm the guy that got a bipartisan agreement at the very end of the campaign, at the very end of our term, to spend $740 million to deal with the problem. And that was to go to the root cause of why people are leaving in the first place. It was working. We saw, as you know, a net decrease in the number of children who were coming. The crisis was abated. And along came this president. He said he immediately discontinued that. We all talk about these things. I did it. I did it. $740 million. Now look, second thing we have to do. The law now requires the reuniting of those families. We would reunite those families, period. And if not, we put those children in a circumstance where they were safe until we could find their parents. And lastly, the idea that he's in court with his Justice Department saying children in cages do not need a bed, do not need a blanket, do not need a toothbrush. That is outrageous.
Vice President, the Obama-Biden...
Children need more than a bed and a toothbrush. They need a nice hug. They need kisses. They need a little body massage. The Joe Biden child care system. Ooh.
Pending if they committed a major crime. They should be deported. And the president was left in his... President Obama, I think, did a heck of a job. To compare him to what this guy's doing is absolutely, I find, close to immoral. But the fact is that, look, we should not be locking people up. We should be making sure we change the circumstance, as we did, why they would leave in the first place. And those who come seeking asylum, we should immediately have the capacity to absorb them, keep them safe until they can be heard.
A 15-second, if you could, if you wish to answer. Should someone who is here without documents, and that is his only offense, should that person be deported?
That person should not be the focus of deportation. We should fundamentally change the way we deal with things.
Senator,
I want to suggest that I agree with a lot of what Kamala just said. And that is, on day one, we take out our executive order pen and we rescind every damn thing on this issue that Trump has done. Number two, picking up on the point that Joe made, we got to look at the root causes. And you have a situation where Honduras, among other things, is a failing state, massive corruption. You got gangs who are telling families that if a 10-year-old does not join that gang, that family is going to be killed. What we have got to do on day one is invite the presidents and the leadership of Central America and Mexico together. This is a hemispheric problem that we have got to address.
Congressman Swalwell.
Remember when the Joseph Kony thing came around? Give me your best Tim Allen home improvement. When the Joseph Kony 2012 thing came around, and it was like the child armies in Africa, and then it turned out that had like been had been solved, I guess, beforehand. It was like a weird thing. Like that still happens, right? Bernie's over here talking about it now with Honduran fucking gangs. And they're forcing 10-year-olds in. It's just... Everybody got so, like, focused on Kony 2020 because of the meme around it. And then we forgot about it. The guy got Agent Oranged or something and went crazy and walked around naked in the street, and we forgot about it. Joseph Kony Biden. Politicians are just government gangbangers. I mean... They got health care. Kamala.
With whom I otherwise had a great relationship and a great deal of respect. But on the secure communities issue, I was Attorney General of California. I led the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice in a state of 40 million people. And on this issue, I disagreed with my president because the policy was to allow deportation of people who, by ICE's own definition, were non-criminals. So as Attorney General and the Chief Law Officer of the state of California, I issued a directive to the sheriffs of my state that they did not have to comply with detainers and instead should make decisions based on the best interest of public safety of their community. Because what I saw, and I was tracking it every day,
$12K a year is peanuts, but if you're in a household of 2 to 3 to 4 adults, it's now $48,000 a year, right? If you like live at home with your parents and you're contributing, if you have a wife and maybe her incel brother lives in your basement, it adds up the more you are community aligned. And peanuts are fucking everything to somebody who's starving.
Wrong. It is wrong.
We're going to turn to the issue of trade now, if we can. Last night, we asked the candidates on this stage to name the greatest geopolitical threat facing the U.S. 4 of them mentioned China. U.S. businesses say China steals our intellectual property, and party leaders on both sides accuse China of manipulating their currency to keep the cost of goods artificially low. I'll ask this to...
It's $1,000 per person over the age of 18 is what Yang's talking about.
The biggest threat to our national security right now is Russia, not China. And second, on China, we've got competition because of what they've done with our election. In China, I think the president's been right to push back on China, but has done it in completely the wrong way.
This guy's like a little bit Bill Murray. Am I off there?
On China's mercantilist trade policies, and I think we can do that. I'd like to answer the other question before this as well.
You have the time?
I think he's here just to like play point man for Joe Biden. He was like, Joe, you just got to say you were really, really spot on, Joe. He's like, I don't know, maybe he wants to try and be Biden's vice president.
To be doing what he's doing to children and their families at the borders. I say this as somebody who wrote the...
What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother?
...way to citizenship for 11 million people in this country that had the most progressive DREAM Act that's ever been conceived, much less passed. It got 68 votes in the Senate. That had $46 billion of border security in it. There was sophisticated 21st century border security, not a medieval wall. And the president has turned the border of the United States into a symbol of nativist hostility that the whole world is looking at, when what we should be represented by is the Statue of Liberty, which has brought my parents to this country to begin with. We need to make a change.
Mr. Yang, let me bring you in on this, on the issue of China. You've expressed a lot of concerns about...
Goodbye, Amanda. Thank you for announcing that you're leaving. Oh, you will be missed.
I just want to agree that I think Russia's our greatest...
What's up, Brooklyn?
They've been hacking our democracy successfully, and they've been laughing their asses off about it for the last couple of years. So we should focus on that before we start worrying about other threats. Now, China, they do pirate our intellectual property. It's a massive problem. But the tariffs and the trade war are just punishing businesses and producers and workers on both sides. I met with a farmer in Iowa who said he spent 6 years building up a buying relationship in China that's now disappeared and gone forever. And the beneficiaries have not been American workers or people in China. It's been Southeast Asia and other producers that have then stepped into the void. So we need to crack down on Chinese malfeasance in the trade relationship, but the tariffs and the trade war are the wrong way to go.
All right, Mayor Buttigieg, how would you stand up against China?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we've got to recognize that the China challenge really is a serious one. This is not something to dismiss or wave away. And if you look at what China is doing, they're using technology for the perfection of dictatorship. But their fundamental economic model isn't going to change because of some tariffs. I live in the industrial Midwest. Folks who aren't in the shadow of a factory are somewhere near a soy field where I live. And manufacturers, and especially soy farmers, are hurting. Tariffs are taxes. And Americans are going to pay on average $800 more a year because of these tariffs. Meanwhile, China is investing so that they could soon be able to run circles around us in artificial intelligence. And this president is fixated on the China relationship as if all that mattered was the export balance on dishwashers. We've got a much bigger issue on our hands, but at a moment when their authoritarian model is being held up as an alternative to ours because ours looks so chaotic compared to theirs right now because of our internal divisions. The biggest thing we've got to do is invest in our own domestic competitiveness. If we disinvest in our own infrastructure, education, we're never going to be able to compete. And if we really want to be an alternative, a democratic alternative, we actually have to demonstrate that we care about democratic values at home and around the world.
China's investing in artificial intelligence, and we're investing in artificial flavoring. China has robots ready to take over the new world, and we have flavors of Oreos that should have never been in cookie form. Think about it. Think about it. Oh, so there's no money for anyone because of China. That's the problem. We need more fights in these debates. We might get some. We might get some. We're sure. We'll see. Oh, what's this? Who the fuck is this guy? Hi there.
By the popular vote, Hillary Clinton had almost 3 million more of those than Donald Trump. But we don't elect the president by national popular vote. We do it by the Electoral College. And there, Donald Trump had the right combination of votes in the right states, enough to win 306 electoral votes for him. So how is that map looking for 2020? Well, first of all, I think one thing you need to do, just understand how narrow that Trump path was in the Electoral College in 2016. You can start by looking at Wisconsin. Look at that margin there. Fewer than 25,000 votes separated Clinton from Trump in Wisconsin. This was a state that had not gone for a Republican in a presidential election since 1984 by a margin of fewer than 25,000 votes. Trump becomes the first in over 3 decades. He gets Wisconsin, the margin in Michigan even closer.
I don't need this fucking history lesson, my dude. I don't need this history lesson. Trump got in because of the Electoral College and Hillary being a fucking dumb. I think Hillary just thought she had it in the bag. I thought she had it in the bag. I thought they set her up to win when she stepped down for Obama. They promised her 2016. And then fucking Trump got it because they pissed off all the Bernie supporters. Hillary was saying things like Pokemon go to the polls when she should have been saying, we got work to do, America. America, we got work to do. Yeah, the DNC went with Clinton, man. So many people were excited about Bernie. He was filling up stadiums. And all the superdelegates were like, even though people here want Bernie, we're going to go with Hillary. Because it's not about the people. And that was clear. I'm super excited for these elections because I'm pretty sure Trump's just going to win again. We're going to make similar mistakes. I don't think Bernie is going to get in. I want him to. I don't think Yang has a chance. But I like that he adds something to the conversation. I like that. If they go with Biden, which I feel like they're setting up for, I don't think Biden can beat Trump. I don't think he can. Yang Gang can try. And he should try. If some shit happens and people see him tonight and it goes viral and it becomes a meme thing, that's what's important right now. Trump was a meme. Hillary was a meme in like the worst ways. You got to get the internet behind you to get the youth to come out and vote. The youth didn't care about Hillary. They cared about Bernie. They were coming out like crazy for Bernie. We got to try and hook the young. Trump might be unbeatable. Yeah, these debates are revolving around Bernie's talking points from 2016. It's true. I worry that Bernie might be too old now. But I guess he's barely older than Trump, right?
Rachel, I had a dream that we've done this before.
No.
This
is definitely
didn't happen.
the first time.
Definitely first time. Thank you, Lester, Savannah, and Jose. Let's quickly recap the rules one more time. 20 candidates qualified for this first debate. We've heard from 10 of them from last night. We're hearing from 10 more tonight. Breakdown for each night was selected at random. Candidates will have 60 seconds to answer direct questions, 30 seconds for follow-ups if necessary.
So the breakdown was selected at random. That's the first time I heard it was random. Memes actually get the youth population. It's true. It's fucking true. And he's only unbeatable because they won't learn. Yes, the ranting hick. Yes. That's why I get behind the Yang meme. Because he seems to have a grasp of meme culture. Bernie has that old school, like, angry dad down. That angry fucking uncle, you know, he's like, you dumb son of a bitch, Put your fucking pants on, go out there, make some money. Bellingham wants me. I want Bellingham. I got to get up there. Conscientious objector in the ham. I'm going to Portland tomorrow. Buttigieg.
I'm not allowed to take sides until the investigation comes back. The officer said he was attacked with a knife, but he didn't have his body camera on. It's a mess, and we're hurting. And I could walk you through all of the things that we have done as a community, all of the steps that we took from bias training to de-escalation, but it didn't save the life
It is
of
the
Eric
wrong way.
Logan. And when I look into his mother's eyes, I have to face the fact that nothing that I say will bring him back.
Damn. We come back from break and he's like, sad city. Go north? Go north? Should I just go north right now and then go south again? It's too much. Portland's it's too far out of the way. And where do I go if I go to Bellingham? If I go all the way up there, I might fuck up and go to Canada on accident. I don't need that.
Approaching feels the exact same thing. A feeling not of fear, but of safety. I am determined to bring that day about.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
If I could ask one question, just because I think...
Governor, I'll give you 30 seconds.
I think that the question they're asking in South Bend, I think in cities across the country, is why
Come into your house.
has it taken so long? We had a shooting when I first became mayor, 10 years before Ferguson.
DM me with
and the community came together.
address.
We
I'll be
created
there
an
in
Office of the
45
Independent
minutes.
Monitor, Civilian
There's
Oversight
no possible way
Commission.
I'll
We
get there in 45
diversified
minutes.
the police force
This
in
guy's
2
so
years.
fucking...
We actually...
Sorry, Hickenlooper. You get the cut. You get the cut, Hickenlooper. I'm not going to listen to all these people. When I see Yang Gang, when I see Bernie, I'll put Kamala on, even though I don't really agree with her. I'll put Buttigieg on. I'll put these people on because they fucking, they got a mouth.
We're obviously not there yet. And I accept responsibility for that because I'm in charge.
Policy, you should fire the chief.
Fire the
So
chief.
under Indiana law, this will be investigated, and there will be accountability for the officer involved.
But you're the mayor, you should fire the chief if that's the policy and someone died.
All of these issues are extremely important, but there are specifics.
Dude, you're the fucking mayor. You're the fucking mayor. Fire the chief. Fire the fucking chief.
Justice system and in our economic system. And the Democratic Party should be on the side of reparations for slavery for this very reason. I do not believe...
The U.S. dollar will not be worthless with $1,000 payouts. It won't. I know you think it will, because you're worried that someone having $1,000 is going to negate the amount of money that exists in this world. But here's the secret about money. It's all fucking fake anyways. It's all getting devalued left and right. At least here it's going to have some circulation that will benefit people at the bottom rung.
So, on the issue of race, I couldn't agree more.
What's up, Buki?
That this is an issue that is still not being talked about truthfully and honestly. There is not a black man I know, be he a relative, a friend, or a coworker, who has not been the subject of some form of profiling or discrimination. Growing up, my sister and I had to deal with the neighbor who told us her parents couldn't play with us because we were black. And I will say also that in this campaign, we've also heard, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden.
You know what the secret is, though? Those kids whose parents will let them play with, like, the black kids in the neighborhood, those kids usually fucking suck to play with anyways. Like, they don't have any good imagination. Their parents are assholes. You go over for dinner. Like, yeah, you can't go eat dinner at their house, but you would have been having mayonnaise sandwiches and boiled chicken. It's not that good. You didn't miss out on too much. It sucks. But they're usually, since in my history, those people kind of suck to hang out with.
And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public school.
Hey, thank you, Doken. And 100%, like, I'm not super into politics. I'm not. I feel like it's a fucking wheel that spins back and forth, keep going. We go a little further forward, we go a little further backward forever. I just like the idea of UBI because it's a new idea. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, let's go back to the drawing board. But let's give something a try. See what happens.
Been invoked. We are going to give you.
Can't message me on Twitter? Tweet at me and I'll open up the DMs.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true. Number one. Number two, if we want to have this campaign litigated on who supports civil rights and whether I did or not, I'm happy to do that. I was a public defender. I didn't become a prosecutor. I came out and I left a good law firm to become a public defender when in fact my city was in flames because of the assassination of Dr. King. Number one. Number two, as the Vice President of the United States, I work with a man who, in fact, we worked very hard to see to it we dealt with these issues in a major, major way. The fact is that in terms of busing, the busing, you would have been able to go to school the same exact way because it was a local decision made by your city council. That's fine. That's one of the things I argued for, that we should be breaking down these lines. But so the bottom line here is, look, everything I've done in my career, I ran because of civil rights. I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
But Vice President Biden, do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No,
do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a
oppose.
failure of
There was like a
states
half clap
to
there.
integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a local decision.
So that's where the federal government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of all people.
I have supported the ERA from the very beginning when I ran for the
Biden, 30 seconds, because I want to bring other people in.
I wonder if anybody's gonna call him out for touching and feeling like I almost feel like Biden wanted to walk up to her and just like, you're tense, settle down, and just rub her shoulders.
I've also argued very strongly that we, in fact, deal with the notion of denying people access to the ballot box. I agree that everybody, once they, in fact, they should. Anyway, my time's up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Vice President. Senator Sanders.
You got
Senator
nowhere
Sanders,
on that one, Joey
Biden.
Biden.
The day you launched your campaign, that voters should focus on what people stand
for.
How
often do you stop when your time's
race
up?
Or age or sexual orientation. Many Democrats are very excited by the diversity of this field, on this stage and on last night's stage, and the perspective that diversity brings to this contest and to these issues. Are you telling Democratic voters that diversity shouldn't matter when they make this decision?
No, absolutely not. Unlike the Republican Party, we encourage diversity. We believe in diversity. That's what America is about. But in addition to diversity, in terms of having more women, more people from the LGBT community, we also have to do something else. And that is, we have to ask ourselves a simple question. And that, how come today the worker in the middle of our economy is making no more money than he or she made 45 years ago, and that in the last 30 years, the top 1% has seen a $21 trillion increase in their wealth? We need a party that is diverse, but we need a party that has the guts to stand up to the powerful special interests who have so much power over the economic and political life of this country.
Senator Gillibrand, I want to give you 30 seconds on this.
Well, first of all, where Bernie left off, we've heard a lot of good ideas on this stage tonight and a lot of plans. But the truth is, until you go to the root of the corruption, the money in politics, the fact that Washington is run by the special interests, you are never going to solve any of these problems. I have the most comprehensive approach that experts agree is the most transformative plan to actually take on political corruption, to get money out of politics through publicly funded elections, to have clean elections. If we do that and get money out of politics, We can guarantee health care as a right, not a privilege. We can deal with institutional racism. We can take on income inequality, and we can take on the corporate corruption that runs Washington.
The first constitutional amendment to do that was introduced by me when I was a young senator.
Thank you, Vice President. I'm going to shift topics.
By the
Senator
way,
Bennett, the next question
I
is
did
for
that.
you.
I did
On the
that.
issue of
Biden trying to get in.
President Obama promised in 2012 that after his reelection, Republicans would want to work with Democrats. Fever would break. That did not happen. Now, Vice President Biden is saying the same thing, that if he is elected in 2020, both parties will want to work together. Should voters believe that somehow if there's a Democratic president in 2021,
I want to hear the answers to
that
this.
gridlock is going to magically disappear?
Gridlock will not magically disappear as long as Mitch McConnell is there, first. Second, that's why it is so important for us to win not just the presidency, to have somebody that can run in all 50 states, but to win the Senate as well. And that's why we have to propose policies that can be supported, like Medicare X, so that we can build a broad coalition of Americans to overcome broken Washington, D.C. I agree with what Senator Gillibrand was saying. I share a lot of her views. We need to end gerrymandering in Washington. We need to end political gerrymandering in Washington. The court today
This guy
said
is
they
like
couldn't
so
do anything about it.
DNC.
We need to overturn Citizens United. The court was the one that gave us Citizens United, and the attack on voting rights in Shelby versus Holder is something we need to deal with. All of those things has happened since Vice President Biden was in the Senate. And we face structural problems that we have to overcome with a broad coalition. It's the only way we can do it. We need to root out the corruption in Washington, expand people's right to get to the polls, and I think then we can succeed.
This guy's a senator from Colorado. He talks kind of like a stoner. Like he got the Bill Murray stoner, almost like Garfield. Almost like Garfield. He's like, yeah, I just got really high and ate a bunch of lasagna. But I do kind of like agree with you, Gillibrand. Good one, Joe Biden. He's just been like patting every person on the back who's like straight up like DNC directed.
Raising the top rate. And as recently as after President got elected, I was able to put together a coalition of the Cures Act that billions of dollars go into cancer research, bipartisan. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you just have to go out and beat them. I went into 20 states, over 60 candidates, and guess what? We beat them. We won back the Senate.
Thank you.
Chuck,
Thank you,
the
Mr.
problem with what the Vice President...
No, Chuck, wait, Chuck, no.
Sometimes you do have to beat him, but the deal that he talked about with Mitch McConnell was a complete victory for the Tea Party. It extended the Bush tax cuts permanently.
Like, what?
The Democratic Party had been running against that for 10 years. We lost that economic argument because that deal extended almost all those Bush tax cuts permanently and put in place the mindless cuts that we still are dealing with today that are called the sequester. That was a great deal for Mitch McConnell. It was a terrible deal for America.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator Bennett.
Look at him, never mind. I thought he was just going to kiss Biden's ass and Gillibrand's ass. He's like, wait, Biden, no, it was a terrible deal for America, man. Good for him.
It is something that makes every one of the plans we've heard about over the last several months impossible. And I have the most comprehensive approach to do it with clean elections, publicly funded elections. So we restore the power of our democracy into the hands of the voters, not into the Koch brothers. We were talking about issues. Imagine, we're in Florida. Imagine the Parkland kids having as much power in our democracy as the Koch brothers or the NRA. Imagine their voices carrying farther and wider than anyone else because their voice is needed.
Senator Gillibrand, I'm trying to get everybody in here.
As president, it's the first thing I'm going to do because nothing else is possible, whether it's education or healthcare or ending institutional racism.
Thank you very much.
Senator Sanders, I'd like to put a different question to you. Roe versus Wade has been the law of the land since 1973. Now that there is a conservative majority on the Supreme Court, several Republican-controlled states have passed laws to severely restrict or even ban abortion. One of those laws could very well make it to the Supreme Court during your presidency, if you're elected president. What is your plan if Roe is struck down in the court while you're president?
Well, my plan is somebody who believes, for a start, that a woman's right to control her own body is a constitutional right that government and politicians should not infringe on that right, we will do everything we can to defend our Roe versus Wade. Second of all, let me make a promise here. You ask about litmus test. My litmus test is I will never nominate any justice to the Supreme Court unless that justice is 100% clear he or she will defend Roe v. Wade. Third of all, I do not believe in packing the court. We got a terrible 5-4 majority conservative court right now. But I do believe that constitutionally we have the power to rotate judges to other courts. And that brings in new blood into the Supreme Court and a majority, I hope, that will understand that a woman has the right to control her own body and that corporations cannot run the United States of America.
Hold on, I'm going to give you 10 additional seconds because the question is, what if the court has already overturned Roe and Roe is gone? All of the things you just described would be to try to preserve Roe. If Roe is gone, what could you do as president to preserve abortion rights?
Well, first of all, let me tell you this. It didn't come up here, but let's face this. Medicare for all guarantees every woman in this country the right to have an abortion if she wants it.
Thank you, Senator.
And can I just address this for a second?
Abortion for all.
To America's women and to the men who love them. Women's reproductive rights are under assault by President Trump and the Republican Party. 30 states are trying to overturn Roe v. Wade right now. And it is mind-boggling to me that we are debating this on this stage in 2019 among Democrats, whether women should have access to reproductive rights. I think we have to stop playing defense and start playing offense. But let me tell you one thing about politics, because it goes to the corruption and the deal-making. When the door is closed and the negotiations are made, there are conversations about women's rights, and compromises have been made on our backs. That's how we got to Hyde. That's how the Hyde Amendment was created, a compromise by leaders of both parties. Then we have the ACA. During the ACA negotiation, I had to fight like heck with other women to make sure that contraception wasn't sold down the river or abortion services. And so what we need to know is, imagine this one question. When we beat President Trump, and Mitch McConnell walks into the Oval Office, God forbid, to do negotiations, who do you want, when that door closes, to be sitting behind that desk to fight for women's rights? I have been the fiercest advocate for women's reproductive freedom for over a decade. And I promise you, as president, when that door closes, I will guarantee women's reproductive freedom no matter what.
Thank you. We're moving to climate.
And I guarantee when that door closes, I will talk to the manager and I will see to it that this barbecue is shut down.
Many of the candidates weigh in on their proposals. Explain specifically what yours is.
Well, first of all, I don't even call it climate change. It's a climate crisis. It represents an existential threat to us as a species. And the fact that we have a president of the United States who has embraced science fiction over science fact will be to our collective peril. I visited, while the embers were smoldering, the wildfires in California. I spoke with firefighters who were in the midst of fighting a fire while their own homes were burning. And on this issue, it is a critical issue that is about what we must do to confront what is immediate and before us right now. That is why I support a Green New Deal. It is why I believe on day one, and as president, will re-enter us in the Paris Agreement, because we have to take these issues seriously. And frankly, we have a president of the United States. We talked about, you asked before, what is the greatest national security threat to the United States? It's Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I agree, climate change represents an existential threat. He denies the science. You want to talk about North Korea, real threat in terms of nuclear arsenal, but what does he do? He embraces Kim Jong-un, a dictator for the sake of a photo op. Putin, you want to talk about
Senator
Russia?
Harris, we're going to do
He takes the word of the Russian president over the word of the American intelligence community when it comes to a threat to our democracy and our elections.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
These are the issues that are before us, Chuck.
I hear you. Thank you, Senator Harris.
Look at Kamala setting up the fucking opponents. She's like, look, Putin, fuck him. Kim Jong-un, fuck him. Laying the gauntlet down. She don't give a fuck. I like her tenacity. I'm not big on a lot of her policy options, but she can fucking go toe to toe. Like when it comes down to debates with Trump, she'll get Trump.
In a way that is rebated out to the American people in a progressive fashion so that most Americans are made more than whole. This isn't theoretical for us in South Bend either. Parts of California on fire. Right here in Florida, they're talking about sea level rise. Well, in Indiana, I had to activate the Emergency Operations Center of our city twice in less than 2 years. The first time was a 1,000-year flood, and the next time was a 500-year flood. This is not just happening on the Arctic ice caps. This is happening in the middle of the country, and we've got to be dramatically more aggressive moving forward. Now, here's what very few people talk about. First of all, rural America can be part of the solution.
Where is Yang? That's a good question.
With the right kind of soil management and other kind of investments, rural America could be a huge part of how we get this done. And secondly, we've got to look to the leadership of local communities. Those networks of mayors and cities from around the world who have come together, not even waiting for our national governments to catch up. We should have a Pittsburgh summit where we bring them together as well as rejoining the Paris.
Thank you, Mayor Buttigieg.
I want to bring Governor Hickenlooper into this for a moment. Governor, you have said that oil and gas companies should be a part of the solution on climate change. Lots of your colleagues on stage tonight have talked about moving away from fossil fuels entirely. Can oil and gas companies be real partners in this fight?
Well, I share the sense of urgency. I'm a scientist, so I recognize that we're within 10 or 12 years of actually, suffering irreversible damage. But guaranteeing everybody a government job is not going to get us there. Socialism, and in that sense, is not the solution. We have to look at what really will make a difference. In Colorado, we're closing a couple of coal plants, replacing them with wind, solar, and batteries, and the monthly bills go down.
Sorry, Hickenlooper, you're getting the fucking mute boot. Yang has not been talking very much at all. I wonder if he just doesn't have questions being vetted to him because they're not in his wheelhouse, or what's going on. Bill Fridge, the science kid. Bill. I don't know. I'm going to get back when Hickenlooper's done talking. I really don't need to see young Hick. If he turns out to be the next president, I'll feel like an idiot right now for cutting him off. Yang has spoken like 2 times that I've noticed, yeah. King of the Sweet Boys. Yang should do a live stream. Yang was on with Dave Rubin. I didn't watch it, but I heard that it was interesting. See who they're pulling up now.
Honest, many Republicans, including the president, are still not sure if they believe it is even a serious problem. So, are there significant ways you can cut carbon emissions if you have to do it with no support from Congress?
The answer is yes. Number one, when our administration, we built the largest wind farm in the world, the largest solar energy facility in the world. We drove down the price, the competitive price of both of those renewable sources. I would immediately insist that we, in fact, build 500,000 recharging stations throughout the United States of America, working with governors, mayors, and others, so that we can go to a full electric vehicle future by the year 2020, or by the year 2030. I would make sure that we invested $400 million in new science and technology to be the exporter not only of the green economy, but economy that can create millions of jobs. But I would immediately join the Paris Climate Accord. I would up the ante in that accord, which it calls for, because we make up 15% of the problem. 85% of the world makes up the rest. And so we have to have someone who knows how to corral the rest of the world, bring them together, and get something done like we did in our administration.
Senator Sanders, I want to give you 30 seconds to follow up, and I'm going to hold you to 30.
Look, the old ways are no longer relevant. The scientists tell us we have 12 years before there is irreparable damage to this planet. This is a global issue. What the President of the United States should do is not deny the reality of climate change, but tell the rest of the world that instead of spending $1.5 trillion on weapons of destruction, let us get together for the common enemy, and that is to transform the world's energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. The future of the planet rests on us doing that.
Before we go, hang on.
Before we leave this.
There's a reason they give Biden so much time. The DNC's trying to pump Biden. Like, this is what they did with Bernie last time. They gave Bernie the fucking stick. They let him run just long enough. Then they pulled the fucking carpet out from underneath him and pushed Hillary. All the time Bernie was going, I loved everything he was talking about. It was fresh. It was new. It was something that we needed to talk about. This is 4 years later, and we're talking about the same shit he was talking about 4 years ago. And it's going to be taken away from us again. I'm fucking sure of it. Rigged debate. Yeah, they want Biden. He's safe. He's safe. Maybe it's going to be Biden Gillibrand on the ticket. I could see her being his VP going in. I don't see them beating Trump. For the DNC, Trump was better than Bernie. Yeah. If they haven't picked someone yet, they're going to go with whoever the poll's highest who isn't Bernie. Yeah, if they haven't picked somebody yet. But I think that they're pretty much gunning behind Biden.
A break in a minute, but before we go, I'm going to go down the line here, and I'm asking you, please, for one or two words only. All right? Please.
Really?
President Obama in his first year wanted to address both healthcare and climate. And he could only get one signature issue accomplished. It was, obviously, healthcare. He didn't get to do climate change. You may only get one shot, and your first issue that you're going to push, you get one shot that it may be the only thing you get passed. What is that first issue for your presidency? Eric Swalwell, you're first.
For Parkland, for Orlando, for every community affected by gun violence, ending gun violence.
Senator Bennett.
Climate change and the lack of economic mobility Bernie talks about.
Senator Gillibrand.
Passing a family bill of rights that includes a national paid leave plan, universal pre-K, affordable daycare, and making sure that women and families can thrive in the workplace no matter who they are.
Oh, I like that.
That was pretty good. Senator Harris.
Then. So passing a middle class and working families tax cut,
That's one.
DACA, guns.
You get one, guys.
I'm going to do
I'm
it
giving
all.
you credit for the first thing you said, the tax cut. I got you.
Like that.
Senator Sanders, first thing.
The premise that there's only one or two issues out there. This
I'm not saying there isn't one or
faces
two.
enormous crises.
Senator
we
Sanders.
need a political revolution. People have
Yeah, that's the one. Revolution. Say it, Bernie.
We can transform this
My
country.
one thing is revolution. Focus on the one thing.
Mr. Vice President.
Revolution,
I think you're
motherfucker.
so underestimating what Barack Obama did. He's the first man to bring together the entire world, 196 nations, to commit to deal with climate change immediately. So I don't buy that. But the first thing I would do is make sure that we defeat Donald Trump.
Okay.
Period.
Fuck you. You can't do it.
First priority, your first issue as president that you were going to block and tackle.
We've got to fix our democracy before it's too late. Get that right. Climate, immigration, taxes, and every other issue gets better.
Mr. Yang.
I would pass a $1,000 freedom dividend for every American adult starting at age 18, which would speed us up on climate change, because if you get the boot off of people's throats, they'll focus on climate change much more clearly.
Governor Hickenlooper?
That sucks.
Do a collaborative approach to climate change.
He did not get the
and I
love.
would pronounce it well before the election to make sure we don't re-elect the worst president in American history.
And Ms. Williamson
My
with the
first
last
call
word.
is to Prime Minister of New Zealand, who said that her goal is to make New Zealand the place where it's the best place in the world for a child to grow up. And I will tell her, girlfriend, you are so on, because the United States of America
Girlfriend, you
is
are
going
so
to be
on.
the best place in the world for a child to grow up.
Girlfriend, you are so on.
You guys were close with the short, at least it was shorter response.
Not at all.
All right. C-.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with these candidates right after this.
Girlfriend, you are so on. Yang stuck to his gun. That was the answer. They cut him off after he said it. The crowd didn't respond well. That's too bad. We got to defeat Trump. So that's what Biden's running on, the platform of defeating Trump. That tells me he's not a politician that wants to make any change, other than he wants to be the one maintaining the status quo. Bernie had the fucking quote of the night. He should have just started off with, if I can only pick one, then I'm going to focus on revolution. Gangster, that'd be so fucking hard. We're gonna revolution came out. It did come out. Oh. Yeah, they clap for defeating Trump because defeating Trump, right? That's orange man bad mentality. Defeating Trump is what everybody wants to do there. They're there for the DNC. They want to win no matter who their guy is. So saying defeating Trump is playing to the crowd. You know, $1,000 when you think $1,000 a month, you don't think of it as a way to fix problems, right? These global wedge problems, these Roe versus Wade, Parkland school shooting, green climate change problems. You don't see $1,000 a month fixing those problems. $1,000 a month fixes problems we don't talk about on a public level because they're very personal problems. But it's like he said, you take the boot off your neck and you can focus on climate change. You can focus on all this other shit. This is take the boot off your neck and put it on so you have some bootstraps to pull yourself up by. That's what the $1,000 a month effectively is. It's not this big wedge issue that barely ever changes. It's something that will have immediate change because it's some spare change in your fucking pocket. Yeah, Papa Twisty, I've been working on that weight loss, trying to be a thin boy. The UBI ignores the bottom of society that needs it the most, does it? Does it ignore them? $1,000 a month would get you out of your parents' house. $1,000 is a lot in Indiana. Yeah. If everybody has $1,000 a month, right? I'm going to go to Indiana and other places, and I'm going to buy a fucking, a building, a complex, you know? I'm going to buy basically an all expenses paid, instead of a cruise ship where you go on and you get a buffet and all this stuff, all this entertainment, it's going to be like housing projects that are catered towards happiness. And you know what it's going to cost? $1,000 a month. Just sign over your UBI to me, and I'll make sure you live in this area that is minimal fucking cost, but you're going to live maximum life. That's my business now that everybody's getting $1,000 a month guaranteed. I'm gonna give you a happiness community. I'm gonna build little happy communities. See, I'm solving the world's problems. Can you get lots of Shrek DVDs? Is there Snorlax here? I gotta catch it. Gotta catch that Snorlax. Gotta catch it. There's no Snorlax here. Shit. Don't like Yang's version. It's basically a consolidation of government spending and not where we need it. Maybe. Oh, the Snorlax back. Oh, okay. I thought it was on Pokemon Go. Will you provide the mayo and SpaghettiOs? The mayo. $1,000 more buys more than 100 copies of Shrek 2 DVDs. Thank you. You still playing Pokemon Go? Hell yeah. Pokemon Go to the polls. Ooh. Fucking, they're back to the debates. Speaking of debates, I want to debate something new. Today's debate is sponsored by ButcherBox. High quality meat you can trust. Young Bill Fridge gets his ButcherBox. He's got 4 beefy steaks, grass-fed top sirloin steaks sent to you directly. Use code NOTAVEGAN to get more meat sent to your doorstep.
Look at what they're wearing. so we can remember it in case we have to identify them later. A generation who has seen thousands of black children killed in our streets, and a generation who goes to the theater and we actually look where the fire exits are. We don't have to live this way. We must be a country who loves our children more than we love our guns.
Senator Sanders, a Vermont
This guy loves
newspaper.
kids.
Senator Sanders, a Vermont newspaper recently released portions of an interview you gave in 2013 in which you said, quote, "My own view on guns is everything being equal, states should make those decisions."
No.
Has your thinking changed since then? Do you now think there's a federal role to play?
That's a mischaracterization of my thinking.
It's a
Look,
quote of
we
you.
have a gun crisis right now. 40,000 people a year are getting killed. In 1988, Rachel, when it wasn't popular, I ran on a platform of banning assault weapons and, in fact, lost that race for Congress. I have a D-minus voting record from the NRA. And I believe that what we need is comprehensive gun legislation that, among other things, provides universal background. We end the gun show loophole. We end the straw man provision. And I believed in 1988, and I believe today.
Why would you
that
leave
assault
15 million
assault
on the
weapons,
streets? Why would you
assault
leave-
weapons are
Senator,
weapons
you leave
are
15
from the
million on the streets,
military,
though.
and that they should not be on the streets of America.
You would leave, your plan leaves them on the streets. You leave 15 million on the
We
streets.
banned the sale, and we banned the sale
Will you
and
buy 'em back?
distribution, and that's what I believe for many years.
Will you buy them back?
If people want to buy, if the government wants to do that, and people want
You're
to
going to be the government.
yes.
Will you buy them back?
Yes.
Senator Harris, we're going to give you 30 seconds.
Thank you. I think your idea is a great one, Congressman Swalwell, and I will say that there are a lot of great ideas. The problem is Congress has not had the courage to act, which is why when elected President of the United States, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to pull their act together, bring all these good ideas together, and put a bill on my desk for signature. And if they do not, I will take executive action, and I will put in place the most comprehensive background check policy we've had. I will require the ATF to take the licenses of gun dealers who violate the law, and I will ban by executive order the importation of assault weapons. Because I'm going to tell you, as a prosecutor, I have seen more autopsy photographs than I care to tell you. I have hugged more mothers who are the mothers of homicide victims, and I have attended more police officer funerals. It is enough. It is enough. There have been plenty of good ideas from members of the United States Congress. There's been no action. As president, I will take action.
Mayor Buttigieg, I want to bring you in on this, sir. A lot of discussion about assault rifles that are often shorthanded as military-style weapons. You are the only person on this stage tonight with military experience as a veteran of the Afghanistan war. Will military families, does that inform your thinking on this view? Do you believe that military families or America's veterans will, at large, have a different take on this than the other Americans who we've been talking about and who Congressman Swalwell...
Sorry, I had to go take a dump.
On some of these kinds of weapons. Look, every part of my life experience informs this. Being the mayor of a city where the worst part of the job is dealing with violence, we lose as many as were lost at Parkland every 2 or 3 years in my city alone. And this is tearing communities apart. If more guns made us safer, we'd be the safest country on earth. It doesn't work that way. And common sense measures like universal background checks can't seem to get delivered by Washington, even when most Republicans, let alone most Americans, agree it's the right thing to do. And as somebody who trained on weapons of war, I can tell you that there are weapons that have absolutely no place in American cities or neighborhoods in peacetime, ever.
Vice President Biden, 30 seconds.
A real 30 seconds?
A real 30 seconds.
Don't waste your time asking, you fucking asshole.
I'm the guy that got the Brady
He's
Bill
got
passed,
nothing.
the background checks, number one. Number two, we increased that background check during the Obama-Biden administration. I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned, and the number of clips in a gun banned. And so, folks, look, and I would buy back those weapons. We already started talking about that. We tried to get it done. I think it can be done, and it should be demanded that we do it.
I want to hear
and
Yang
that's a
Gang
good
on gun
expenditure
control.
money. And lastly, we should have smart guns. No gun should be able to be sold unless your biometric measure could pull that trigger. It's within our right to do that. We can do that. Our enemy is the gun manufacturers, not the NRA. The gun manufacturer.
Vice President,
But the NRA is taking orders from the gun manufacturer.
Lester Holt has our next question. Lester, take it away.
All right, Chuck, this is a question from our viewers. We put some suggestions that asked maybe
how
they
many
could share
clips
some.
do you
Here's
have
one
in a
that came
gun?
from Kathleen from Canby, Oregon, who writes, many fear the current administration has inflicted irrevocable harm on our governing institutions and norms, and in the process, on our reputation abroad. The question is, what do you see as important early steps in reversing the damage done? And
Are
we'll put
smart
this one
guns
to
like
Senator Bennet.
iPhones with a
Thank you
trigger?
very much. What an excellent question. First of all, we have to restore
Oh, it is theater, Dokken,
our
100%.
democracy at home. The rest of the world is looking for
This
us
has
for
always
leadership.
been theater.
We have a president who doesn't believe in the rule of law. He doesn't believe in freedom of the press. He doesn't believe in independent judiciary. He believes in the corruption that he's brought to Washington, D.C., and that is what we have to change, and that's why everybody is up here tonight, and I appreciate the fact that they're up here for that reason. Second, we've got to restore the relationships that he's destroyed with our allies, not just in Europe. He flew to the G20 last night and attacked Japan, Germany, and a third ally of ours without saying anything about North Korea or Russia. And when you've got a situation where you have a president who says something happened in the Straits of Hormuz and the whole world doesn't know whether to believe it or not, that is a huge problem when it comes to the national security of the United States of America.
This is a perfect
and we
time.
need to change that.
Thank you, Senator Bennet. It's a perfect time for me to do another one of these down the line. And this is what this question is, which is you're likely going to have to reset a relationship between America and another country or entity if you become president perhaps because of some relationship that you just mentioned about President Trump. What is the first relationship you like to reset as president? I'm going to go down the line, and I'll start with Ms. Williamson.
This is like a dating game question.
One of my first phone calls would be to call the European leaders and say, we're back. Because I totally understand how important it is that the United States be part of the Western Alliance.
I'm trying to get one or two words here. I hear you.
I like her as a lady.
Talk
Like,
about
she's
constant
great.
engagement. And I think the first country I would go to, and I understand they've been cheating and stealing intellectual property, would be China. Because if we're going to deal with public health pandemics, if we're going to deal with all the challenges of the globe, we've got to have relationships with everyone.
Mr. Yang, we're trying to squeeze in a couple more things before we go to another break. Mr. Yang.
China, we need to cooperate with them on climate change, AI, and other issues. North Korea.
Thanks for the quickness. Mayor Buttigieg.
We have no idea which of our most important allies he will have pissed off worse between now and then. What we know is that our relationship with the entire world
Buttigieg's catty.
and it starts by modeling
That's his
American
fucking,
values at home.
Okay, Mr. Vice President, I'm trying to be quick.
That's his gay caddy that's coming out,
NATO
hitting
will fall
him.
apart if he's elected 4 more years. It's the single most consequential alliance in the history of the United States.
Senator Sanders.
It's not one country. I think it is rebuilding trust in the United Nations and understand that we can solve conflicts without war, but with diplomacy.
Senator Harris.
All the members of the NATO alliance.
Senator Gillibrand.
President Trump is hell-bent on starting a war with Iran. My first act will be to engage Iran to stabilize the Middle East and make sure we do not start an unwanted, never-ending war.
Senator Bennet, quickly.
Our European allies and every Latin American country that's willing to have a conversation about how to deal with the refugee crisis.
And Congressman Swalwell.
My first act in foreign policy, we're breaking up with Russia and making up with NATO.
Such a dating game answer. Such a dating game answer. I told you guys.
You have made your decades of experience in foreign policy a pillar of your campaign. But when the time came to say yes or no on one of the most consequential foreign policy decisions of the last century, you voted for the Iraq war. You have since said you regret that vote. But why should voters trust your judgment when it comes to making a decision about taking the country to war the next time?
Because once Bush abused that power, what happened was we got elected after that. I made sure the president turned to me and said, Joe, get our combat troops out of Iraq. I was responsible for getting 150,000 combat troops out of Iraq, and my son was one of them. I also think we should not have combat troops in Afghanistan. It's long overdue. It should end. And thirdly, I believe that you're not going to find anybody who has pulled together more of alliances to deal with what is the real stateless threat out there. We cannot go it alone in terms of dealing with terrorism. So I'd eliminate the act that allowed us to go into war and not the AUMF, and make sure that it could only be used for what its intent was, and that is to go after terrorists, but never do it alone. That's why we have to repair our alliances. We put together 65 countries to make sure we dealt with ISIS in.
Fuck off, Biden. I don't want to hear his bullshit.
We got to make sure we deal with ISIS. We got to deal with ISIS.
Record is Joe voted for that war. I helped lead the opposition to that war, which is a total disaster. Second of all, I helped lead the effort for the first time to utilize the War Powers Act to get the United States out of the Saudi-led intervention in Yemen, which is the most horrific humanitarian disaster on earth. And thirdly, let me be very clear. I will do everything I can to prevent a war with Iran, which would be far worse than disastrous war with
Senator
Iraq.
Sanders,
Can't go to war
All right,
without
guys.
informed consent of the American people.
Good news is you get more time to talk, but I have to sneak in one more break.
Be right back.
Fuck off. Thank you for streaming this. Yeah, Gustavo, it is my duty as American citizen to give you up-to-date coverage on the Democratic election. Obviously, I'm wearing the Andrew Yang Gang math hat. I almost put my Yang Gang shirt on, but it's short-sleeved, and I wanted to be comfy. This isn't comfy enough. I like Bernie. I like Yang. Yesterday, I think I like Tulsi. I like Buttigieg is cool. I've always been a Democrat. Well, I've always voted Democrat. I really haven't been a fucking Democrat. Like, I've never been a political person where I'm like, oh, geez, we gotta do this for our country. We gotta vote blue state. I don't know. I got a bleeding heart. It's my sweet boy. I'm a sweet boy. That's my problem. I'm a soy boy. So, yeah, we all like Tulsi. She's sav. This is the best coverage of the debate. You know, we just got to calm down. We got to do it with Joe. We got to shout out Yang Gang. His answer was short to that question. He said, we got to work with China. And as an economic corporate guy, I think that was a good answer. I think Yang is talking to people on a personal level with his campaign. And that doesn't come across as well because people are used to having these like buzzwords. These wedge issues dictate who they should vote for. And he's really not playing into the wedge issues at all. He's just like, I want to give you some money. I want to go work with fucking China on AI and the green system so that they're not putting all this emissions out. They said America's responsible for 15% of the emissions. The world's responsible for 85% of the rest. We got some work to do. We got some math to do. We got to sit down with a pencil and pen and do some math. Please just let me do math. Exactly. Yeah, the debates aren't that fucking interesting to me, but I figure we're going to cover this on Drunken Peasants over the next few weeks, and it'd be interesting to get a head start on it. We're just going to be live today. That didn't happen.
But also a father of a 2-year-old and an infant.
Because we're going to Portland tomorrow to see Jimmy Dore.
I'm changing Washington. Most of the time, the diapers smell better. I went to Congress at 31, and I found a Washington that doesn't work for people like you and me. It's made of the rich and the disconnected. I was the first in my family to go to college and have student loan debt. And so I have led the effort to elect the next generation of members of Congress. And we have a moment to seize. This is a can-do generation. This is the generation that will end climate chaos. This is the generation that will solve student loan debt. And this is the generation that will say enough is enough and end gun violence. This generation demands bold solutions. That's why I'm running for president.
Congressman, thank you.
Ms.
I'm not a
Williams,
fan.
45 seconds for your closing
I'm
statement.
sorry we haven't talked more tonight about how we're going to beat Donald Trump. I have an idea about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not going to be beaten just by insider politics talk. He's not going to be beaten just by somebody who has plans. He's going to be beaten by somebody who has an idea what this man has done. This man has reached into the psyche of the American people, and he has harnessed fear for political purposes. So, Mr. President, if you're listening, I want you to hear me, please. You have harnessed fear for political purposes, and only love can cast that out. So sir, I have a feeling you know what you're doing. I'm going to harness love for political purposes. I will meet you on that field, and sir, love will win.
Thank you.
Senator Bennett.
Thank you. Thank you. My mom and her parents came to the United States to rebuild their shattered lives.
With our powers combined, Mr. President, I'm going to beat you with the power of Captain Planet.
Freedom here. The ability for one generation to do better than the next is now severely at risk in the United States, especially among children living in poverty like the ones I used to work for in the Denver Public Schools. That's why I'm running for president. I've had 2 tough races in Colorado by bringing people together, not by making empty promises. And I believe we need to build a broad coalition of Americans to beat Donald Trump, end the corruption in Washington, and build a new era of American democracy and American opportunity. This is going to be hard to do, but it's what our parents would have expected. It's what our kids deserve. I hope you'll join me in this effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Governor Hickenlooper.
I'm a small business owner who brought that same scrappy spirit to make Colorado one of the most progressive states in America. We expanded reproductive health to reduce teenage abortion by 64%. We were the first state to legalize marijuana, and we transformed our justice system in the process. We passed universal background checks in a purple state. We got to near universal health care coverage. We attacked climate change with the toughest methane regulations in the country, and for the last 3 years, we've been the #1 economy in America. You don't need big government to do big things. I know that because I'm the one person up here who's actually done the big progressive things everyone else is talking about. If we turn towards socialism,
oh, you've done that?
we run the risk of helping
You've done
to
that?
re-elect the worst president
Fuck you,
in American
Hickenlooper.
history.
Thank you, Governor.
Senator Gillibrand, you have the floor for 45 seconds.
Women in America are on fire. We've marched, we've organized, we've run for office, and we've
That girl is on
but our rights are under
fire.
attack like never before by President Trump and the Republicans who want to repeal Roe v. Wade, which is why I went to the front lines in Georgia to fight for them. As president, I will take on the fights that no one else will. I stood up to the Pentagon and repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I've stood up to the banks and voted against the bailout twice. I've stood up to Trump more than any other senator in the U.S. Senate, and I have the most comprehensive approach for getting money out of politics with publicly funded elections to deal with political corruption. Now is not the time to play it safe. Now is not the time to be afraid of firsts. We need a president who will take on the big challenges, even if she stands alone. Join me in fighting for this.
Senator Gillibrand, thank you.
Mr. Yang, you have 45 seconds for your closing.
First, I want to thank everyone who put me on this stage tonight. I am proof that our democracy still works. Democrats and Americans around the country have one question for their nominee, and that is who can beat Donald Trump in 2020? That is the right question. And the right candidate to beat Donald Trump will be solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected and will have a vision of a trickle-up economy that is already drawing thousands of disaffected Trump voters, conservatives, independents, and libertarians, as well as Democrats and progressives. I am that candidate. I can build a much broader coalition to beat Donald Trump. It is not left. It is not right. It is forward. And that is where I'll take the country in 2020.
Mr. Yang, thank you.
Senator Harris, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, I just want to leave you with a couple of things. One, we need a nominee who has the ability to prosecute the case against 4 more years of
Bill
Donald
Gates
Trump,
doesn't need
and
to
I
run.
will do that. Second, this election is about you. This is about your hopes and your dreams and your fears and what wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's why I have what I call a 3 a.m. agenda. That is about everything from what we need to do to deliver health care to how you will be able to pay the bills by the end of the month. And when I think about what our country needs, I promise you, I will be a president who leads with a sense of dignity, with honesty, speaking the truth, and giving the American family all that they need to get through the end of the month in a way that allows them to prosper. So I hope to earn your support. Please join us at KamalaHarris.org.
Senator, thank you.
Oh, with the shill. With that perfect shill.
Nothing about politics is theoretical for me. I've had the experience of writing a letter to my family, putting it in an envelope marked just in case, and leaving it where they would know where to find it in case I didn't come back from Afghanistan. I have the experience of being in a marriage that exists by the grace of a single vote on the U.S. Supreme Court. I have the experience of guiding a community where the per capita income was below $20,000 when I took office into a brighter future. I'm running because the decisions we make in the next 3 or 4 years are going to decide how the next 30 or 40 go. And when I get to the current age of the current president in the year 2055, I want to be able to look back on these years and say my generation delivered climate solutions, racial equality, and an end to endless war. Help me deliver that new generation to Washington before it's too late.
Thank you. Senator Sanders, 45 seconds, the floor is yours.
I suspect people all over the country who are watching this debate are saying, these are good people, they have great ideas. But how come nothing really changes? How come for the last 45 years wages have been stagnant for the middle class? How come we have the highest rate of childhood poverty? How come 45 million people still have student debt? How come 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America? And here is the answer. Nothing will change unless we have the guts to take on Wall Street, the insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military-industrial complex, and the fossil fuel industry. If we don't have the guts to take them on, we'll continue to have plans, we'll continue to have talk, and the rich will get richer, and everybody else will be struggling.
Thank you, Senator.
And lastly, we'll hear from Vice President Biden. Sir, you have 45 seconds.
Thank you very much. I'm running to lead this country because I think it's important we restore the soul of this nation. This president has ripped it out. It's the only president in our history who has equated racist and white supremacist with ordinary and decent people. He's the only president who has engaged and embraced dictators and thumbed her nose at our allies. I'm secondly running for president because I think we have to restore the backbone of America, the poor and hardworking middle-class people. You can't do that without replacing them with the dignity they once had. Lastly, we got to unite the United States of America as much as anybody says we can. If we do, there's not a single thing the American people can't do. This is the United States of America. We can do anything if we're together. So God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Oh, you fucking snake. Hitting them with that. Hitting them with that political fucking
on a range of issues,
bullshit.
20 candidates in all. We want to
Happy
thank
late
all of the
birthday.
candidates last night.
Seriously, it takes guts to run and stick your neck out like this to you guys and to
It takes
the 10
guts,
last night.
guys. It really, seriously, it takes guts.
I would also like to thank the audience for completely ignoring our suggestion not to react. We made it a lot more fun.
Also, thanks to the Democratic National Committee and the Florida Democratic Party.
And of course, thank you to everyone at the Adrian R. Center for hosting us.
Fuck off. Thank you for
the wonderful debate.
Talking about trickle up, okay? So, you remember trickle down. Hey, I heard Bernie Sanders nicked his taint this morning. Yeah, I nicked my taint. You know what I love? I love a butcher box, high quality meat you can trust. You know, I was shaving my taint this morning and I nicked my taint. But you know what? That smell of fresh blood reminded me that red meat is delicious. With Butcher Box, you can have a hairy nutsack and a delicious cut of steak, grass-fed. If you can tell, I'm not actually sponsored by Butcher Box. That was a lie. I don't even know how much the Butcher Box was. Do they sell taint meat? No, it's fresh, grass-fed. It's not tainted. It's not tainted at all. But I think the idea behind trickle-up economics is give the money back to the people and let them spend it and raise and invigorate the economy through stimulus, right? As opposed to trickle down, where you give more benefits to those at the top so that they can provide more opportunity to those below. It's flipping that on its edge, right? Like, no, fuck that. Give these people the opportunity to spend the money and see where their money goes. You know, you vote with your dollar. If you give somebody 1,000 votes a month to go vote, you're going to see what really matters to people. Maybe it's fucking video games and Air Jordans, but maybe it's something better. Maybe having that access to $1,000 gives somebody... invigorate the economy, line rich people's pockets, but you're lining the rich people's pockets through, like, honestly, if this goes through and we get $1,000 a month UBI from Yang Gang, I'm going to start fucking telling people to vote with their money, and I'm going to start a campaign to buy local, to support your community with the money you have. I'm going to write a whole fucking rap song about it and make everybody will buy that on the iTunes with their $1,000 a month. I'll get rich, and everybody will be reinvigorated through local economies. And because of that $1,000 a month, these people who normally wouldn't have a vote or buying power will. That's the future. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. You get $1,000 a month, I'm going to tell you exactly how to spend it. You're going to be so happy. Yang is a GOP plant. I'll tell you what Yang is. He's looking at the problem from a corporate capitalist mindset. And that's something that I feel like might appeal to the capitalists in charge. Yeah, this is not what we need. It's a Band-Aid. But maybe the Band-Aid will hold long enough for us to heal. And the way that it's put, we're going to be losing so many jobs. The jobs we're getting are being cut down. We're trying to have a $15 minimum wage in the most progressive cities. And that's causing companies to further automate everything. I was in McDonald's the other day picking up an Uber Eats order with a friend of mine, and they didn't have tellers at the counter. They had these machines you had to go press in, and they weren't even done redoing the lobby. They're mid fucking construction trying to eliminate the counter to talk to people. And they got these things up and running before that's even, the whole lobby's fully fucking transitioned. They get to charge people more for things and make more money. In 2 months, people will be worse off. I don't believe that. Supply and demand, like, if they charge people more for rent, then people with having $1,000 a month will be able to move where the rent is no longer demanded because they have a little bit of a safety net. You're going to see people actually have a say in things here. I don't think they're just going to be able to raise the price of everything and get away with it. Especially if people know there's $1,000 a month in every adult's pocket. They're going to compete for that $1,000 a month. It's a Band-Aid on a leaky pipe. Well, the pipe will be gone before too long. What's stopping them? Actual capitalism. People, if you offer something and if you have a monopoly on it and everybody raises the price and is colluded with raising the price, then you're fucked, right? But if you raise the price of your service and somebody knows the money's out there for a service that needs to be made, someone else is going to come in and they're going to give you a service competitively that you can spend your money on. and knowing that everybody's going to have $1,000 a month to spend it on, they're going to go for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Did Harris just end Biden's run? She hit him pretty hard. They gave Biden the closing account, and he closed out with that "God bless America," that fucking presidential bullshit. They gave him everything. They set it up for everything. Do you think America really will change the national anthem to Yang Gang Anthem? For sure. Aren't there a lot of homeless in California? I don't know how far $1,000 will get them. Might get them a bus ticket somewhere. But honestly, and this is the sad part, $1,000 a month might get a lot of people $1,000 worth of a drug that they couldn't afford before, and they'll overdose, right? But this is the freedom to do with that money as you wish. You get them a flight to Indiana, exactly, right? The homeless aren't going to get $1,000? Are you sure? I was under the impression that they were going to get $1,000. Why do they not get $1,000? Get $1,000 the V-Bucks. What's up, Jordan? Ugh. Make prostate orgasms legal? Prostate orgasms legal, aren't they? Aren't they? I thought every adult 18 and older gets that $1,000 a month. Dude, homeless people get food stamps hella easily. You don't think they're going to get $1,000 a month? You don't think they're going to find a way to get it? I'm sure they'll get it to them. To qualify, you need to have an address and not be getting other aid. Luna, are you bored? Do you want to call and talk to me, or are you busy? Yang Gang also said food stamp or UBI, not both. Well, I mean, food stamps is like a couple $100 a month, right? $1,000 a month is a little better than that. But I don't think Yang is set yet with his ideas either. He's going as he goes along. So we'll see. You'll jump in, or you want to come on the Discord? On to the Discord. Every human 1 day or older gets $1,000 a month. Honky. That's not true. You have to be 18 or older, right? I was going through my magic cards last night. I found these cardboard crack blank tokens I made up for the video I did. Did I listen to him at all on Joe Rogan? I didn't know. I didn't listen at all. You got $1,000 for me in Kentucky? You give me $1,000 a month for one of those cards? Yeah. Come and get it. Come and get that cardboard crack. So already we're talking only $800 for poor people, and that doesn't even consider that the new taxes he wants to implement or the price increases with inflation. Maybe we're wrong. Luna Da Vinci, how you doing? Oh, yeah, you're muted, you little turd. Pull you back in. Luna Da Vinci, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello. We're talking about presidential debate because we're economically driven members of society.
Oh,
interesting. Do you want $1,000
I love
a month?
politics. What are you talking about specifically?
$1,000 a month.
For and where?
For every American 18 or older because Yang Gang.
I would actually love that.
See?
But where is it coming from?
It's coming from your pockets.
Oh, taxes and stuff. Yeah.
Honestly, it's
I don't know why I don't understand why they would give us $1,000 a month instead of raise the wage gap, the minimum wage.
Well, this is why he's saying that. It's because the jobs that we're raising the minimum wage of are going to become automated and robots are going to take over. So these jobs just won't exist. So no matter how high we raise them, they're not going to be there for Americans in the future. So we need to have a set income to take care of people when the robots do all the work.
That's not true because robots aren't going to do all of the really hard work.
No, that's not true. They take out
all the really hard workers are going to be the one paying for the $1,000 a month.
No.
I know you're talking about like fast food restaurants, self-checkout shit.
No, I'm talking
like that,
about like attorneys, like the clerics and the attorney offices and stuff. We're talking about truck drivers. We're talking about Uber drivers. We're talking about people all over are becoming automated. You know what else they're going to automate? The sex industry. All these prostitutes going to need $1,000 a month.
Well, yeah, because of VR.
Yeah.
Well, if they're smart, they'll like do that deep fake stuff or whatever and sell their face or something.
True. Everybody says robots are our slaves, but do you know who doesn't have slaves? The common folk.
That's not true because I answer to robots now.
You don't have no robots.
All of anyone who is a content creator on YouTube or any streaming platform, for that matter, is at the whim of robots. Don't ever forget that.
Me and Octavia Blue are going to become VR cam girls and get paid.
Ooh.
Jeremy Vigil says, I used to be a hooker, but then that sex robot took over my corner. Exactly. Ranting Hicks says robots will also make new jobs. That's pretty big.
Well,
the
you'll
taxing,
need people to maintenance those robots for sure. And when you go to the store, you need at least one person at the self-checkout for like every 5 self-checkouts. You need one real person there.
One.
Yeah, one.
But
that one person can get paid more, and the rest of the people can fuck off and find better jobs.
What they're saying is the
people
that are
decisions.
The people are going to pay for everything through a national tax added on to spending for certain items. So when you go buy luxury items, they are taxed at a higher, or they have a national tax, whereas we don't have a national tax. So people who spend a lot of money on luxury things will pay more taxes. That's the
it's a good thing rich people can afford that stuff because then they'll keep buying it and
define
then
luxury
people will get
items.
free money, I guess.
I assume luxury items are things that are like non-essentials, like food and clothing. Maybe clothing was a luxury item.
Yeah,
I wonder if people
it's
on
people
Social
who
Security
can
will get
afford
both
it,
UBI
and the
Social
people
Security.
who can afford it work hard. It's just the sloppy few that take advantage, and hoard the money and stuff.
Yeah, Ranting Hicks says as of now it's UBI or other benefits, not both. Well, if the other benefits are raised or higher than UBI, then you're already being socially taken care of, right? Like you have. Like should they stack? Do you think they should stack? Do you think because somebody's getting Social Security that they should also get UBI? Maybe they should. Universal Basic Income.
Universal Basic Income.
Billy, buy a real doll and bring it on DP saying it's your girlfriend. Did you see Onision bought a real doll? And he's set a Patreon up for it.
Onision buys a lot of things. He should buy himself a new life.
You're so mean. I never pick on your friends.
Onision is not a friend.
He's my friend.
Okay, Billy. Fine, he's your friend.
Luxury items like pot and condoms. Damn it.
That's not a luxury item. You can grow it out of the fucking ground.
You can't grow condoms out of the ground. What are you putting on your dick?
You can grow weed out of the ground. I wasn't
Oh.
talking about condoms.
Oh.
Okay.
I thought you were over there spreading weeds on your dick, and I'm like, you can't do that.
Well, you can.
It's
I mean,
true.
what's stopping you?
Onision buys a lot of luxury items. Condoms
Yeah, like
should
all
be
of his
free.
girlfriends.
Oof. He didn't buy any of them.
All of those quote unquote wetlands.
Pimp Monk says, Billy, I'm your friend, and your boy is not. What's up, Pimp Monk?
Is
How
it
you
true
doing?
that he bought more wetlands?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else is true is that he didn't destroy the wetlands that everybody accused him of destroying.
That's none of my business. I don't give a shit about that.
Everybody gave a shit about it.
I
when
just
it
don't
was-
like the way he fucking
when
acts.
it was Pitchfork City.
He's a doofus.
Yeah, the way he acts is crazy sometimes. That's just the way he is, though.
I like pledged to Onision for for 1 month, so like a couple weeks, and it's this cringe.
You were a
cringe,
patron and
cringe.
you unpatronized him?
Of course I did. I just wanted to see what he was doing.
Wow.
He just whines and complains on there all the time. It's like
HyperX Alloy FPS Penelope Misto says, Billy, have you ever gave a facial? You mean like a mud mask?
No, they mean like when you come on a girl's face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy from the Bronx, when are you going to make another rap video like Rockstar? I need to do that. I do need to do that. I need to get back into the studio. And it's going to happen.
You
I
keep
started to go
saying
back.
that, but it's been
I
like
started to go
6
back, but
months.
then I moved in this place, and then I stopped going in because was moving in, and I
Do you
went.
not like your new place?
It's great, but it was a long process getting in here and getting comfortable and dealing with many growing pains. So I'll be back in the studio soon. You want to be in that video, Tommy? Get buff. Workaholic 2.0, drop it now. Need to drop the video for 80s, baby. You guys want to see me play it right now? You want me to play the video for 80s, baby? I can't drop it because I don't think it's droppable. Nothing at the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. There's a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs actions when you've got words? I have to upload the video in order to play it. So give me a second. I'm going to upload it. If I had $1,000, you can go visit Billy. Exactly. Imagine if everybody had $1,000 a month. You could come visit me and hang out. Is recording easier now that you're slimmer? Oh, maybe. One thing about being fat, I was sick a lot, and my breath control was terrible from being sick all the time. But that's not so much a problem anymore. I gotta find where the fuck.
You don't have to be fat to get sick. You could just simply not take care of yourself and still be skinny and still get really sick.
Yeah, but fat people get sicker more often.
That's not... Individuals are individuals. You're not a doctor.
I'm a fucking doctor.
Citation needed, sir. I want to see some receipts.
Good citation. All right, I'm uploading 80s Baby just to play it. What's up, Blasian? How you doing? You unironically like Pinwheel. I don't know why Billy doesn't like Pinwheel. It's great for Halloween. Billy, come to Kentucky too. Just PayPal me that $1,000 and I'll buy a ticket to Kentucky with that $1,000. It probably cost me $1,000, wouldn't it? Are you going to collab with Hannibal or Ronald McFondle again? Hannibal was talking about doing that EP with me. I want to do that. Come to Arizona. I would like to go to Arizona. I haven't been to Arizona in a long ass time. There's a lot of places I want to go.
Arizona is beautiful at night when the sun's setting.
You ever go to Sedona?
Sedonia?
Sedonia, Macedonia. Sedona, Arizona. Macedonia. All right, so the video is 31% uploaded. I think it's ridiculous that I have to upload the 80s Baby music video to play it on my stream because I don't have anything set up to play just the video on my stream. I feel like this is the easiest way for me to do it. It's backwards logic.
You're uploading it to YouTube?
I'm uploading the video to YouTube to play it on my stream because I don't have anything set up.
Isn't it already on YouTube?
The 80s Baby video?
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen. Oh, maybe I've only seen it.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
not allowed.
actually on YouTube.
It's not allowed to be
You
publicly
streamed it.
released.
It
But
is
they
on
took
YouTube
it
'cause
down.
you streamed
The
it.
people who directed it took it down, and I had to find it again through
Once on the internet,
nefarious
always on
means.
the internet, Billy.
That's what you
know
think.
the rule. You know the rule.
Breadcrumbs, you got to tell me your uncle's name again so I can.
Quick, make sure when he plays it, someone records it.
What?
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 What? I got Kiefer.
Sutherland?
Mm-mm. It's like a jizz drink or something.
Oh,
It's like good
yeah.
for your stomach.
Yeah, a facial drink?
Yeah, facial drink. Jizz.
71%
Strawberry jizz.
uploaded. Strawberry jism forever. Better than mangoes, even. Have you guys ever seen that documentary from like 15 years ago? It's some kids who were breastfed until they were like 10. And the girl's like 8-year-old kid talking about how great breast milk was. And she's like, I love the taste of breast milk. It's better than mangoes, even. It was fucking strange listening to a little kid talk about titty milk. You usually stop when you can verbalize, but this family was like, nah, it's cool.
All milk is titty milk.
All milk is titty milk, yeah, but not all milk comes from a fucking directly from the nipple, right?
Yeah, it does.
No, it gets processed and put into a glass. I'm saying if I'm not sucking the milk out of a titty, I don't consider it titty milk. Better than mangoes, even. You have to see that. I'll see if I can find it. I wonder if I'll get banned off YouTube for watching this shit. Let me see if it's on YouTube first. Because if it's on YouTube, I could totally watch it.
Totally.
Totally, wow.
Wow.
Totally, like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, here goes fucking 12 years ago. We're going to watch this and then 80s Baby. Oh, shit. Get the fuck out of here, Buddha Judge. That's not even Buddha Judge. All white dudes look the same.
That's racist.
It's factual. The truth, it's actual.
I
Everything
dare you
is
to say
set.
it with a different ethnicity involved.
You can't say that. That's racist.
So I guess you're not going to do it then?
No, because I'm white, so it's okay for me to talk about white people.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah. You're going to have to just bear with me while I watch this because I don't have your audio set up. I'll figure out a way to do that some other time. So we're going to watch the breastfeeding. Then we're going to watch 80s Baby. Then we're going to watch Breadcrumb's uncle's rap video.
Look how big this one is.
Veronica Robinson lives in Cumbria with her two daughters, Bethany and Eliza. She breastfed her eldest daughter, Bethany, until she was 5 and is still breastfeeding Eliza at nearly 8. Veronica believes that children should decide for themselves when to stop breastfeeding.
If there's any monkey business, you have to leave. I'm not having that.
If there's any monkey business, you have to leave. I'm not having that. This girl is old enough to be reasoned with that she can't play with her mom's titty while she's eating dinner out of the titty. This is crazy to me.
A monkey.
Okay.
I'm not a monkey.
So just come on down.
Eliza is still breastfed when she asks, although it is less frequent now than when she was little.
So I mean, mothers produce milk as long as
Mothers produce milk. Yeah, but this is the thing, right? This girl's old enough to reason. Like, should she be drinking that milk?
Well, it is the most healthy milk for a human being to consume compared to every other.
But it's
milk
so
on the
full of
planet.
nutrients. She's gonna make this girl a fucking like a linebacker for the
You know what we
49ers.
should do? We should just like get pregnant women into a factory and just milk them.
It'll make her strong
And
as
they
fuck.
just sell titty milk.
Look, when Andrew Yang gives the UBI and I get $1,000 a month, I'm gonna spend it on titty milk. I'm gonna get it fresh from the tit. Like, I'm not judging this girl for feeding off her mom's breast. I'm mad
You
that
are,
I
though.
don't have it.
You really
I
actually
want to
old
go.
enough to be reasoned.
I want to go to a woman and give her some money and suck some titty milk for like a half an hour. That's all I want. Is it too much to ask?
Might be.
Strong
It is
attachment to it.
2019.
Not necessarily the need to be doing it all the time,
And the
but
world
the need
was
to know
supposed
that
to end
she has access to.
In a world.
in 2012.
Someone said Casey Trunk got milked. What? Why do you care, Billy? I don't care. Honestly, she's allowed to breastfeed and everything. She 100% is. It's just strange to watch this girl reason with her mom, old enough to know that she can't play with her mom's titties while they're fucking interviewing. It's shocking.
That, you know, one of the most
It's just a tit, dude.
It is just
Like,
a tit.
calm down.
It's just a
It's
milk.
just a tit. It's
If and when
just
I'm
a-
pregnant and start
You know
like
what?
producing, I'm
If-
pumping as long
if
as I
peop-
can and
more
selling it or
people should
donating
be
it.
like this woman.
Smart.
You know why? Because we need more tits in the world. Okay, everyone needs to shut up, stop talking, and just show tit. Okay. Just
Maybe
do it.
you're right, Luna LaVinci.
I think I am right. I think everyone needs to get the fuck over themselves and just understand that it's a tit. Okay, it's just a tit.
I would like
It
to.
feeds you. It gives you life, and it's squishy, and they're fun, and they bounce, do all
And they
kinds of fun
bounce.
things,
More
and they all
bounce
look
to the
different,
ounce.
sort of.
Putting things in her life
Yeah,
is
they
still
all look
available.
Extraordinary breastfeeding. It's. It really comes down to when the kids are talking about the breastfeeding that gets me. You never see them verbalize this sort of experience. It's strange because you don't breastfeed that long. It is odd and peculiar, right? We can say that. I'm not.
I mean, kudos to her. I mean, those are really well-behaved children. to get that much milk for that much time, they must be, no biting, no.
Yeah, maybe
pain, no
that's the
nothing.
secret. Maybe the secret is if you want good kids, threaten to take the titty away. You're
Yeah.
like, no, mother.
There you go.
No, I'll be good. Just let me suckle your teat, mother.
Scientists believe that extended breastfeeding can produce
Although it
higher
could
IQs.
really be fucking them up too.
The scientists just said they believe that longer breastfeeding could produce higher IQs. And I was breastfed longer than my sister was.
Longer breastfeeding, like to the age of 3, maybe. Yeah, but once you get past like 4, then it's like they're developing some psychological stuff, and then it could be kind of detrimental. I
See, look at you judging now.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
There's a 48-year-old.
Everything in moderation. I think breastfeeding until the age of 4 is totally normal and fine.
I think at a certain age, you should no longer be breastfed by your mom. You should get like a milkmaid that comes over and lets you suckle until
Well,
you're
maybe
like
that's
30.
what she is. That's what midwives are.
They're milkmaids?
Yeah. Midwives are women who get pregnant and then keep the production of milk going
Really?
forever. Yeah, and then they'll take care of women's babies who can't breastfeed or they have trouble breastfeeding.
I need a
and
fucking
stuff
midwife.
Like that. Yeah, that's midwives, man.
I
They're
want one.
fucking the bomb, dude.
I want one.
We should all have one.
Yeah. Let me get a midwife. They should do Uber for midwives. And she just comes over, lets you suck it for a little bit. That'd be awesome.
Bethany and Eliza Robinson have been breastfed for many years, and Eliza is still breastfeeding at 7.
You can see from Eliza lying here, they take up a lot of space, and it's not quite the same as a little infant tucked in your arm.
I can't see the stream. I wonder if I can grab my iPad.
Yeah, you can't see the stream. I'm sorry, but we're busy
No,
over here watching a fucking mom talk about breastfeeding. I want the kids to talk about it. That's the money shot. When the kids are explaining how it's better than mangoes even. It's so funny.
They don't get as much pleasure and as much comfort as a newborn does. And one of the really nice things is children.
So exotic too, like of all the things.
I know. They're European girls, so maybe mangoes are like, I don't know, more sought after treats over in Europe. I don't fucking know. They're pretty regular here in the Northwest. We get them from Mexico.
Get older is that they can verbalize their experience and tell you how much they enjoy it.
Here you go.
I remember it tasting really, really sweet.
I remember it tasting really, really sweet. This is where it comes in with the mango line.
Older sister Bethany was breastfed until she was 5 and still has fond memories.
She was breastfed until she was 5 and still has fond memories. Fond memories?
Better than anything in the world. Better than mango even.
It's better than anything in the world. Better than mango even. It's so good. What's up, Abby?
I bet you if you had titty milk, you'd say it's the best thing in the world too.
I don't have it, and I will say it's the best thing in the world.
I bet. I mean, you're sitting here bashing this poor little girl, bullying her practically.
I'm not bullying.
But she's gonna grow up to be an astronaut, and you're just gonna be Billy the fridge.
I'm fine with that.
Because you didn't breastfeed until you were 5. You fucked up. We're all done for.
Why are you making me feel depressed about not having a titty in my mouth? This is unfair. How am I the one bullying? I'm being bullied. Do a hi, Billy, and use that mango clip. That's smart, yeah.
I'm spending too much time with Billy. That's what's going on.
It's okay. She's going to grow up to be an astronaut? Rude.
I'd rather have lots of breast milk than a million melons.
I'd rather have lots of breast milk than a million melons.
You should, actually. Octavia just said you should take a clip of this. You should totally clip this and make this a fucking thing on DP. It's better than mangoes.
I'm going to start stealing Leafy's videos, like, step for step with everything, and just do... I'm going to do, like, this, but Leafy's commentary. I'm going to steal the same videos he commentaried on 5 years ago.
Oh, you'd need to play some, like, Tetris, though.
Yeah, I'm going to have Tetris instead of fucking Call of Duty. I'm going to have T-spins instead of fucking slides, instead of sliding.
Maybe one day Leafy will grace us with his voice once again and pretend to be Billy the Fridge.
Maybe I'll just have him guest star on my videos. I'll be like, hey, just say something here so I can get 100,000 views. Like, what? Like, just do it so I can get 100,000 views, Leafy. I did steal Leafy's chin, dick.
In the mornings when I'm getting dressed, the girls talk to my breasts, they touch them. We've had to set up some firm rules about letting me get dressed in peace. They don't like it when I put a bra on. They think I'm
They don't like it when they put a bra on.
Saggy and wobble and everything.
Saggy wobble. I'm not gonna watch any more of this. I just wanted to see the fucking part where it was better than mangoes even. Stealing Leafy's videos for a week challenge. I'm just gonna remake all of his top videos word for word. Just say what he says, but I'm gonna say it. Perfect. All right. This is okay. So, Miss Luna, you're gonna have to be quiet while I play the '80s baby video for everybody as well. Okay.
Okay, I'll mute.
Thank you. I'll be back in a moment. Here's the '80s baby video, guys. live inside your Ferrari, baby, of course. I've been inside your Porsche, baby, you've seen me. I will fit in your Lamborghini, baby, it's true. I'm not fitting in your BMW. I can't fit in your Mercedes, baby. You cannot ride me like the 80s, baby. I know it sounds crazy, baby. In the fast lane, speeding fast, hate it, baby.
Come on, baby, won't you ride with me? Top down, race into the night with me. Come on, baby, just turn the key. Feel out, let the rubber burn with me. Come on, baby, won't you ride with me? Come on, baby, come on, baby. Come on, baby, just turn the key. Come on, baby, come on, baby.
Baby, I'm sorry. I can't fit inside your Ferrari, baby, of course. I've been inside your Porsche, baby, you've seen me. I won't fit in your Lamborghini, baby, it's true. I'm not fitting in your BMW. I can't fit in your Mercedes, baby. You cannot ride me like the 80s, baby. I know it sounds crazy, baby. In the fast lane, speeding fast, hate it, baby.
Come on, baby, won't you ride with me? Top down, race into the night with me. Come on, baby, just turn the key. Feel out, let the rubber burn with me. Come on, baby, won't you ride with me? Come on, baby, come on, baby. Come on, baby, just turn the key. Come on, baby, come on, baby.
I invited fans for that shot, yeah. Because I'm a sweet boy. Yeah, that's the video that never came out. Whee. Wish you were as cute as Maddie, though. Psst, you're probably cute.
Maddie is super cute.
You're probably cuter than Maddie. Unmute. Why'd they take it down? They never put it up. I guess the director that made it doesn't want it out there or some shit. I don't fucking know. It never got finished. It was like a year late. It was bad. It was bad. Should have thrown in the 80s style rap. I thought about it, but it was like the whole video was just like, or the whole song was just like a weird troll. Luna, are you Sanders Squad? The song itself is on iTunes. 80s Baby's been on iTunes for a while. You
Fuck
can get
no.
Fuck no.
I'm not into that Nordic communism shit.
You want to fight me? Is that what you want?
Let's go. You want to tussle?
You want to tussle?
Yeah.
Remix with a verse from the one and only Ronald McFondle. Yeah, Breadcrumbs. What's the name again? What's the name again? I gotta copy and paste it in. The biggest joke here is literally every Democrat.
That's a stupid argument.
I just want everybody to love me.
Communism
I don't care.
is Jewish, not Nordic. Bill, shut up. You're just splitting hairs now. You contrarian.
I just want everybody to love me. I don't care if you are Republican or if you are Democrat. As long as you love me.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I mean, both sides are pretty dumb, if you ask me.
Exactly, but I'm the middle.
I mean, there is a middle ground.
Love
just
me.
Nobody's willing to let go of their ego.
Love me, say that you love me.
Fool me, go.
Playing another song real quick. This is All of This. Lay You Down from the album All of This.
Remember the time or place I second guessed, laughing and cry all night for the hell of it.
This is your uncle? Got good voice. I'm reading the comments.
Now that I know there's something to bring me to my knees, maybe a whisper, yeah, just a whisper, yeah.
Do a song on the Big Smoke meme?
I feel you slipping, so I remain high. I wanna thank you 'cause I won't forget. I feel your fingers slipping through the tide. I lay you down to rest.
This is the type of music I would make if I wanted to get girls. This is girl getting music. Oh my gosh. Your uncle probably gets all the girls. I need to make some girl getting music now.
Take it away, I'll die from a broken heart.
Max, I'm working on getting skinnier. I want to be a little thin boy. Yang gang. He's been trying to get signed. Yeah, he's got like, this song came out in 2015, it says. So he's been pushing for a while. It's got a good sound. I like it.
We're starting to fall off track. Tell me where you are. Where even the moon and the stars don't give me what I need. Give me a whisper.
Billy, when is your next diss track? Man, I wish there was something that I cared enough to make a diss track about. So generic. I mean, it's not, this isn't the type of music that wants to be anything other than what it is, right? Like it's supposed to connect to a more popular crowd. Like saying it's generic is like a compliment, right? It's trying to be within a wheelhouse. Cougar music, exactly. This is the type of music that women throw their panties at you when they listen to it. I need that. Right now, when girls throw panties at me, it's because they're throwing back the ones that I threw at them. It's not fair. Is Luna still here?
Yeah.
Come back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were muted.
Yeah, I muted because you were listening to stuff. I didn't want to be rude.
You're not rude.
Oh, okay.
You're tall. Nobody's ever rude when they're tall. Who's your favorite porn MILF? I don't have one. I don't watch a lot of porn. I'm not a big porn boy. You should make an Apex themed diss track about Fork Knife. Get all the 12-year-old views. Luna does not have a song. Luna does art, though. She's an artiste. And sometimes she'll sing what she's listening to on Spotify. You don't actually make music, though, right, Luna? Do you have any aspirations to be a singer one day?
I record my voice on GarageBand.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I sent you a song, remember?
I don't think I listened to it. Are you sure you sent me a song?
I'm pretty sure I sent you a song.
I don't think you did.
Funny story, I did not really sing very much in front of people until I met Billy.
Yeah.
He's the only person who sings with me.
I'm contagious.
Yeah.
Billy looks at his other fleshlights when masturbating. Yes, because I don't objectify women. I womanize objects. Billy, you trying to make a little something with him? Because I'll tell him about you. I mean, I don't know what type of song we'd make together. Prior now, yeah, do you have a link to your song I can play for everybody here?
Maybe I can send it to you on Discord.
Do it. He's making a rap right now? I gotta hear his rap.
It's like an old song, though. Like, it's like an old Fallout type song.
I want to hear it because I don't remember you sending it to me before, which means I could have heard it and forgot, or I could have ignored it when you sent it. There's a lot of reasons why I haven't heard it. Could be. Oh, hey, Sarah. How are you doing? The Snorlax behind me is freaking you out? It's just a Snorlax. No hate. Luna, do you have your cool song yet that we can all listen to?
I'm trying to get it for you.
Okay, good. I have no patience. That's a me thing, not a you thing. Take your time. Lettuce Zeppelinus is going for a job interview tomorrow. Good luck. Why am I not drinking that bottle in the background? Because I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking. I'm a sweet boy who doesn't want to get alcoholic. I know. We're just waiting on Luna's song that's been 1 billion hours and years now to play. We've just been doing it for 1 billion hours and years. Is that... Hold up.
I don't know how to send it.
Is that Yoda? Do you not have a... Is it MP3 or what is it?
It's an MP4, I think.
MP4? Why don't you send it to my email?
Okay.
I'll give you a hint what my email is. It's at gmail.com. Everything else is the screen name without spaces that you're talking to me on. Don't tell people what it is. It's private. It looks nothing like Yoda. It looks like Snorlax. I take more naps than Snorlax. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Wouldn't it be nice?
Okay.
Hey, Billy, you're looking great. What's your secret? Just counting calories. What's up, Alicia? How you doing? I'm going to wrap up the stream pretty soon, Breadcrumbs. I want to play Luna's song, and then I'm probably going to, like, let everybody say their final goodbyes for the night. We're living
I emailed it.
Of pure imagination. Let's see if it came through. Oof. Did you put a space in it?
No.
Because I'm not seeing it yet. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know.
I just sent it on your phone. You can just play it on the phone, probably.
It's on my phone?
Yeah, you can just... It's not sent all the way yet, but it's loading.
Oh, okay.
Texted it.
You tested it?
Yerp. Yeah, I did. That's the email I sent it to.
Huh.
For sure.
Huh. Now I have to try and download it or something?
You should just be able to tap it and play it.
I don't want to play it on my phone through a microphone. It's distortion. That's distortion.
Okay, I can try and send it again.
No, don't worry. I got this. I'm a master.
Okay. Billy is a producer. He knows what he's doing.
Maybe.
Oh, was that today that you were supposed to be exposed?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought Reed Naylor... I totally came on today just to give Reed Naylor the chance to expose me. Because I care. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Alright, let's see if this shit's good or not. The tension is killing me. Alright, Miss Luna, you're not going to be able to listen to us as we play your song because you can't hear. What the fuck? Hold on. There you go. Let's see if this actually works. No preview available. Did you just send me a fucking virus? Is this a virus?
Blue sky, smiling at me. Nothing but blue sky.
Let's go back.
Blue sky, smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds sing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shine so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurry by. When you're in love, my, how they fly. Those days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shine so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurry by. When you're in love, my, how they fly. Those days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
Always do.
All right. You can come back now. We're gonna pick on you.
Yo.
Come back so we can pick on you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Go ahead, pick on me.
You gotta get a good audio engineer to record that for you. It sounded your voice is good.
breaking up.
Shut up! I'm talking.
Oh.
We gotta get you an audio engineer to do that so it doesn't sound like you recorded
Yeah,
it
I
into a Pringles
really like
can.
a lot of the old, like, I'm really into old music.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that great. I need to practice a little.
Oh, she totally was
But it's
going
just
for
raw
the Fallout
stuff.
Radio sound. That's why it had the distortion and stuff. It just because if you guys don't know, Luna streams on Mixer, and she has a creative radio stream where she does a lot of her art live on stream, and then archives of other art projects she's worked on and other streaming things she's done. And she plays Fallout Radio in the background, the creative radio and stuff, as part of her stream. So it's definitely inspired by that.
It's a 24/7 stream.
She tries the 24/7 stream, but sometimes she shuts it down.
Only to, update bots and stuff.
Yeah, the fucking bots are taking our jobs.
Yeah, you gotta reset the computer every once in a while,
But you can find her on Mixer at mixer.com/Luna LaVinci, LunaLaVinci. Blue skies from now on. So, Luna,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna vote for me when I run for president?
Yeah.
Are you breaking up or am I breaking up?
Probably me.
I'm very angry right now.
I can go outside.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon. Anything you want to say to the kids watching at home?
Don't breastfeed your children until the age of 5.
Breastfeed me instead.
Yeah, breastfeed Billy.
Yes.
Take a tit from a kid and give it to Billy.
Take a tit from a kitty and give it to Billy, because Billy wants titties. Billy wants titties. That's my new anthem.
So don't stay in school.
Don't stay in school. You didn't rate her music highly enough to earn the vote? I didn't want to rate it because it sounded like shit. Audio quality.
It does, to be honest.
Audio quality. Everything else about it, I was enjoying it very much. I was enjoying
recorded
it.
on the phone, on an iPhone.
Yeah,
through GarageBand.
she was just having a sing, and that's great. I liked it. I want her to have more sings in a more professional setting, so that it sounds more crisp and clear. That's all. I'm not going to rate it any higher than that because I enjoyed it. But
I don't have the equipment.
I know what you have and don't have, okay? And what you
Okay,
have,
God.
what you have is an impressive voice. Not a world-changing, earth-shattering voice. But I like it. I enjoy it. I've listened to you sing during your streams sometimes, and it's very pleasant. You have a very pleasant voice. That recording sounded like you were singing into a Pringles can. And I've seen you face first in a Pringles can before. It's not bad. These are not complaints.
Okay.
I like chips. I just can't eat them. You're too honest to be a politician, Billy. I'm politician 2.0. I'm going to hit you with that honesty and make you wish I was lying.
Did you see the Dem debate?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand what half of them are saying.
That's because you're a woman.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm ignorant because I only speak one language or understand one language. But as soon as they started speaking Spanish, I was like, what is going on?
What's going on?
I was so lost after that.
That was last night's debate, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Monica? How you doing? Tonight's debate was a little different. I don't think anybody spoke Spanish.
Oh, okay. So it was a different one. I think it was the Dem debate.
It was me. It's a good show. Biden got bombed by Kamala Harris. Biden definitely got the ball. Like, they were giving him the best timing and stuff. The DNC wanted to focus on Biden. Bernie had some fucking lines, though. Bernie, if you could focus on one thing, and he's starting to say things, and they're like, we said one thing, Bernie, and he goes, revolution. Savage.
Oof.
Savage.
Oof.
Savage.
Oof.
Yeah, your conservative lifestyle is about to get uprooted, Luna. Because Bernie's going to have a revolution.
No, it's not. My conservative lifestyle. What?
Bernie's going to have a revolution.
It's not my whatever style I live is my man's style.
Your orange man is bad.
No, no, not that man. He's not my man.
You're not a chump for Trump.
I'm talking about my boyfriend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Donald Trump.
You know, the one who provides for me.
I think Daddy Trump provides for us all.
Well, maybe. I mean, October's been saying like, you know, his money coming in and how much like tax relief he's gotten has been really good.
Well, that's good.
And he works really, really fucking hard. I don't know anyone in my whole life works as hard as October does.
Yeah.
9-hour days out in the weather, like no matter what the weather is, building multi-million-dollar homes.
It's because you
like,
hang out with lazy people like me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not your
works
fault.
About just as hard as he does, I think. Don't hang out with just lazy people.
What's up, itty bitty titty committee?
Itty bitty titty.
Itty bitty titty committee got a t-shirt.
Ooh, of what?
Yeah. Did you find your t-shirt?
It's a tank top and no.
What the fuck? How do you lose my shirt?
I don't know. I lose everything. I'll just buy a new one.
You better.
I will.
Everybody else should buy a t-shirt as well. You can get them at my Bandcamp. I'm going to throw a link into the chat for those of you that don't know. You can buy Bill Fridge t-shirts sent to your doorstep. Wear them to church on Sunday. Check out Luna Da Vinci on Mixer. That's mixer.com/Luna Da Vinci. She burps just like that. I think did I type it right in the chat? Is that right or wrong?
I can't see the chat.
Well, fuck my life. LUNALAVINCI.
Yep, all lowercase.
All right.
Oh wait, no, the L's are uppercase, I think.
You can pay in cuddles and unwavering support.
You can find me on Twitter. It's not that hard. Twitter, Instagram. I have both.
Trent got some shirts. Better. Appreciate you. That was a hot burp.
Kind of a stickler for certain things, so.
I have lost weight. I hate red snow. I have.
Red snow. Ooh.
Yeah. Redonk said they're good quality shirts too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They are really good quality. I'm sad I lost mine. Really pissed about it.
I expected better from you, to be honest.
Don't remind me.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Just upset about it, really.
It's okay. You're going to cry. Everybody else, if you don't have anything else to do tonight, go check out mixer.com/Luna Da Vinci and listen to her Fallout music and stuff. Yes. I'm gonna go. I think I might be having a movie night. I gotta go to Portland tomorrow, so I gotta chill. I gotta fucking chill. So everybody else have a good night. Thanks for hanging. I will talk to y'all soon. Luna, you want to say goodbye?
Good night, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. Night night. Bye bye.